It was David versus Goliath.
This would be like a Morris Minor beating the Ferraris in the Grand Prix.
A young Pies outfit against a Brisbane side in its greatest period of dominance.
The Lions are starting to roar.
Now, relive every massive moment.
What a game of football.
This is the 2002 AFL Grand Final. As for McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
This quarter for IGA Liquor, proudly independent.
I don't like to make predictions, but I'll reckon after about a quarter of football you can tell who's going to win. So I'm going for the Lions, and I'll give you a reasonably definite assessment at quarter time.
I don't think they run as hard as Collingwood in the centre, but they just win the ball. They simply win the ball. Look at this. Collingwood have only got the 4 blokes inside the centre square, nobody on the wings.
Stephen McBurney, Brett Allen and Matthew James holds the footy aloft. Triple M rocks football.
Nick Davis full forward.
The 2002 Grand Final, Brisbane and Collingwood. Keating won it down in the middle against McKee. Burns got on the end of it, handball off, intercepted by Pike. Already got 2 premierships. Could be a third today for him. Off hands, Ackermanis into the goal square. Can't get beat the ball. Was tackled. It was fierce. Ball in the boundary line there.
Pikey.
Loney takes it over. And Martin Pike, after today, could be the most successful player of the 90s with 3 premierships, Dermot.
Absolutely, coming from the Kangaroos as well. Double play there from Pike. He got the kick at the 50-metre line and laid the tackle on the boundary line.
Boundary throw in deep inside the Lions territory. Picked up by Lynch. Tries to get around a couple thumps. A handball inboard. Edlund tries to assist it back into play, but across the line again. And we'll have a boundary throw in about 15 metres around from the Lions goal. Kicking into a slight breeze to the city end after Michael Voss, their Brownlow medal premiership captain, had won the toss. McKee wins it to the back of that exchange. Dangerous ball for the Pies. Picked up by White. He's bundled over. Keating has his kick smothered. Ball still on the ground. The Magpie defence working overtime. Here is Voss. Tries to control it. In the end, did beautifully. Slapped it back to last year's Norm Smith medalist Sean Hart. He does a bit of tunnel ball. Footy still on the ground. First free kick. And it's going to go to the Magpie skipper Nathan Buckley.
Nathan Buckley being picked up by Chris Scott.
Defensive 50, Buckley's kicked at Tarrant and hit him right on the chest. Ball a little slippery. The pressure from Chris Scott was good as well, and the ball over the line out of bounds.
And the other interest at the other end, Anthony Rocker. Lepix ran straight past him, picking up Josh Fraser. Mal Michael for Anthony Rocker.
No score, almost 2 minutes into the game. Keating doing the ruck work. Half forward for Brisbane, knocks it down nicely. Ackermanis in front of his man, almost threw it out to Voss. The umpire said it was legal, hit a leg on the way, and Lecuria's got the free kick.
Luke Power in the back pocket on Leon Davis.
Lecuria. What a player he's been for Collingwood. High ball, Rocker's got to beat 2. Brought it to ground. Leon Davis was a little bit close to the pack. In they go. Lappin's in there for the Lions. Black went hard at it. The 2-0-2 Brownlow medalist. The kick comes out of the pack. It goes on there to Tarrant. Tarrant marks the ball. Looks for the short lead. Couldn't find him on the bounce. Got it to Davis. Back to Tarrant. Tarrant's on the boundary line of the left boot. Had a shot, centering ball. Missed everything. They crashed. Tarrant missed his head. And eventually the Lions, Scott I think it was, Johnson it was in fact, came through. Lucky not to be decapitated.
Dr. Peter Larkins.
Yeah, Chris Tarrant with heavily strapped right knee from last week's injury, JB. Not moving too badly, but obviously the knee not quite right today for Tarrant.
Boundary throw in inside the Pies forward 50. Fraser gets rid of his opponent. Left foot. First goal, no. Just misses. A behind for Josh Fraser. First score on the board for Collingwood. 1 behind, 1 point. Lions yet to score 3 minutes in. Triple M scoreboard.
And Ben Johnson got the job on last year's Brownlow medalist, Jason Ackermanis, as he insists on being called.
Jason Ackermanis and Ben Johnson will be one to watch. From fullback with the white boots on, Johnson goes out line looking for Pike. Got him right on the boundary line. Pike controlled a hard bouncing ball. He was tackled. He was pinged. That's dropping the ball. Free kick. Collingwood will go to Rupert. But Theris has been a first quarter specialist in recent weeks. Goes sideways with the ball with a kick to Freeborn. He marks, runs, plays on the 50. It's a long ball to the puck right there. It's the first goal of the AFL final. No. It's hit the post. 2 behinds to Collingwood. Large yet to score. We've played 3 3/4 minutes. Mike McLean.
Thanks, BT. 8 tackles to 2 in favour of Collingwood in the first 5 minutes of the game. 8 to 2.
Johnson to bring the footy back in. Goes long to the outer side. Great Southern stand side. Just touched inside the field of play by Vatheris and Pike. Boundary throw in A kick and a half out from the Collingwood goal. Brisbane settled well early, and now the Pies have had a couple of shots at goal. They lead by 2 points. 2 behinds. Brisbane yet to score, kicking into the breeze. Keating, a double palm slap forward. Now the players congregate on top of the footy, and the umpire will come in. That's Steve McBurney, and he says, I'll have it, and I'll have a bounce. About 70 out from the Collingwood goal, and they are kicking to the punt road end. The rain has ceased for the minute, and conditions not too bad. Brisbane in control of the ball, and they'll get a free kick out of all of that. It's going to go to Des Headland at half-back for the Lions. In short he goes, good kick too, and it finds Clark Keating on the wing outer side.
Now he got free because McKeating straight away dropped way back, and this ball will go in his direction now.
Thumping long ball now into a nest of players. It's thumped to the side. Akamanis looming.
High
Tackle. No free.
Lucky.
That was on Black. A bounce, 40 out from the Brisbane goal. 5 in. Collingwood 2 behinds. Lions yet to score. Grand final day on Triple M.
We've got Sam Newman and Dermot Brereton special comments today. Mike McLean, ball up, forward 50 for the Lions. Pike got it to Voss, standing start, spiral torpedo kick. Michael Voss just offline. 1 behind, the first to the Lions. They're 1 behind. Collingwood have 2 behinds. We've played 5.5 minutes. And remember, Brisbane elected to kick into a pretty strong wind to the city end in this first quarter.
What a beautiful, that is just a 50-metre standing kick like they do in gridiron. The kickers, they just 1 step and a beautiful torp.
Loney from fullback kicks out wide, looking for McKee, trying to sweep the ball on, but in doing so, infringed against Jonathan Brown, and he gets a free kick at a half forward.
Yes, it was a free kick every day of the week. And now Brett Allen just gets rid of a couple of the players. Brown thought about going inboard. Now he thumps the ball high. High towards White. Good mark in front, taken by Presta Giacomo. Positioned himself very nicely. Handball back to Loney, deep in his own defensive area. Rain starting to fall again as Loney pumps it towards the wing. Coming at it, Tarrant. Also Chris Scott on the ground. McKee. His kick just eluded the Brisbane Lion player there in McDonald.
Voss direct.
Voss just directing traffic. The superstar. High drop punt now in the Akamanis direction. Johnson with him. Both players unable to take the mark. Cross the line in front of Presta Giacomo. Boundary throw-in.
Wasn't that magnificent? Jonathan Brown's running back for the ball. He was probably going to get their line ball with Voss. Voss just pointed at him and pointed elsewhere on the field, said, run to there, I'll get it, just give me a shepherd or something. No need us both going there.
Boundary throw-in, not a spectacular start, but one that's full of intense pressure at the moment. Collingwood have got it on their back line. Johnson, Darryl White worried him out of it. In they go. Handball came out. Copeland, play on, says the umpire. Darryl White picks it up, gives it out wide to Lappin. Beautiful knock onto the path of Pike. He shot it to Akamanis. Turns around, hits the post.
Caught it.
Bounced back and he marked it, but it's a point. 2 points apiece.
That's a rebound.
We've played 7 minutes of football on the Golden Chef scoreboard.
2 points apiece and 2 posters apiece as Loney set to bring it back in for the Pies. Full house. Drizzly, rainy, cold day in Melbourne. Collingwood trying for their first flag in 12 years. The Lions looking at 2 in a row. O'Brien.
13-man zone there, James, and they had a bit of trouble there. Loney did in finding a loose man.
O'Brien down the line outer side looking for Freeborn. Of course, a premiership player with the Kangaroos back in 96. Kicked 3 1/4 to set up that win for the Roos. And now playing in a grand final for the Pies.
I might have said earlier, Chris Scott was on Buckley. Brad Scott's picking Buckley up.
Boundary throw-in, 70 out from the Lions' goal. 2 points apiece. McKee at the back of that exchange picked it up and thumped it down the line. Coming at it, Mal Michael. The ball defeated him on the bounce. Picked up now by Ashcroft. Goes to ground, slid in. Handball on the up. Michael comes thumping in. Beautiful chain of handballs, gets it to Notting. On now to Black, the Brownlow medalist. Left foot, long ball to half forward. The mark almost taken by Brown. No free paid. Across the line, right on the 50-metre line. Boundary throw-in. Great southern stand side. City end, the Lions are kicking to. 8.5 in, 2 points apiece.
A great spoil by Steinfort then on Jonathan Brown. And the Pies just early stages of this game having trouble getting numbers up to their forward line because they've got so many back trying to stop what they might think's the early onslaught. They don't get enough up quickly enough.
Steady rain falling here at the MCG. Dermot, what did you see?
Vossi overran the ball and a Collingwood player confronted him and he just went the double fister and had a go at putting it right into his chops. We'll see it come up on replay here in a second. Oh no, it wasn't too bad in the end. But Voss is going with Buckley now.
Half forward line for the Brisbane Lions. The ball has been at that end of the ground for some time. We've played 9 minutes. 2 points apiece on the Triple M scoreboard. No goals kicked yet. And crowd You can hear them in the background. Getting involved early. Collingwood need to make this a 0-0 draw at quarter time and half time, if you like, to be some chance at the end. The greasy conditions as we complete the boundary throw-in with another ball up.
That's a great call. A great call, Brian. A 0-0 draw. If they're 2 or 3 goals apiece at half time, then scrappy, ugly football. They've done a brilliant job, Collingwood.
They have. They've wasted 10 minutes already. Keating does the right work, knocks it down. Jonathan Brown trying to impose himself at centre forward. Not unlike the great man sitting behind me. Goes to the middle, look around. Voss hard, clever little tap out the side door. Pike was there. Rupert Botharis will get a free kick though. Half back line, plays on with a handball to Lacuria. He's got Buckley on short, ignores that, goes to Rocker, needs a mark, got a nudge from Michael.
No.
So here we go. This will be an opportunity for the Magpies. Buckley will pick the ball up and give it back to Rocker.
Buckley will run too hard for Voss. If he gets into free open running space, he'll actually travel too much for him.
Rocker goes the short ball. They're trying to finesse just a little bit too much, Collingwood, as they go forward. It's not a day for that. Over the line, out of bounds, forward 50. Magpies, Sam Newman.
Pretty lucky kick to Anthony Rocker because he had overrun the ball before he even jumped for it, and the slight nudge he got was irrelevant to him getting it.
Keating from behind, slaps it forward. Pike, who's had a bit of it early, picks it up. He's worried off the kick, and it's out of bounds on the full. Martin Pike, so Freeborn will bring it back in. 70 out from the Collingwood goal. No one on the mark, so he goes. Has a bounce in the wet conditions. Approaches the 50, thumping kick. He's pulled it way to the left, out in the full. Glenn Freeborn.
And McKee having a little trouble with Keating at this stage. He's beating him comprehensively in the hit-outs anyhow, Keating.
Luke Power brings the footy back into Ashcroft, and he's in the back pocket for the Brisbane Lions. 2 points apiece, 11 minutes gone in the grand final on Triple M. Long goes Ashcroft, members side. Darryl White to fly from behind Keating. Thump to the front. Keating did well. Got it to Black. Claimed in the tackle and slung to the ground. Footy on the ground. Loney almost got it through there. In a good effort in the end from Black to see it across the line. Another boundary throw in. 70 out from the Collingwood goal. McKee and Keating, the combatants. On this occasion, Rocker might also get involved. Here comes Keating from behind. Slapped to the back by Rocker. Did it pretty well. They come thumping through. Black with a beautiful handball on the up. Just missed its target. Scott in the tackle. Slung. Clement got it to Buckley. Buckley on the run has pulled it badly again. And that's out of bounds on the full in almost the same position that Glenn Freeborn's kick ended. And Scott will bring it back in for the Brisbane Lions.
Indeed he will, so a lot of pressure resulting in some early behinds here.
Look at the space here, Brian, close to the boundary line. Brisbane leave it open for this kick in, so the players can actually run to that spot.
Kick by Scott is almost going to go out of bounds on the full. It bounces a metre inside, so it was good in the end. 2 points apiece. We've played 12 minutes on Triple M football. Doc.
Yeah, the rain's got to a stage where it's as heavy as it's been since the start of the game, Brian, so very greasy now, and any of that give in the surface has just got softer.
And Josh Fraser will be very relieved when he gets his first kick or touch, because Justin Leppich, a very, very tough player.
Rocker infringed from the boundary throw-in.
The non-controlling umpire awarded that.
Yep, and that'll be a free kick to the opposing skipper and Voss.
It was there. He acted it.
Voss on half-back, northern side, or is it Keating? Keating it will be. Could have been either one. Now Power goes short. Surely he'll go wide. No, Rocker just cuts that off and zones off the man on the mark. Gives Keating a couple of extra moments, but he has to kick to a contested contest. Jonathan Brown there in front. Couldn't mark it. Burns. Off hands Loney. He can run, but he won't have any room on this occasion. Short ball. By foot has found Nick Davis.
This is very obvious. Collingwood are going short on every occasion. They're just trying to break up Brisbane's behind the play antics.
Nick Davis with a half mung helicopter off the side of the boot. Went straight there to Ashcroft. Got it over to Black on to Lappin. Lappin with a driving kick forward. Darryl White lurking over the top. Took a wonderful juggling mark.
Lynch has one out.
60 metres from goal. He is indeed. That's the direction it'll go. But White's kicked it out of bounds on the full as Lynch went wide and wide and wide. 13 minutes, 2 points apiece. 2002 grand final, James Brayshaw.
Shane Wakeland thought about bringing it back in. Now it looks like he's got to hand it off to O'Brien. Doesn't matter. O'Brien goes backwards with his short kick and finds Nick Davis right in his own goal square at the city end. Pike comes at him. A little stagnant. Now he's got to go, Davis. He set himself a task. And he's in real trouble. Gets the kick away under pressure. Tarrant got it. Centre half back. Wheels around and gets the handball off. The forward pressure supreme from the Lions. White tries to tap it back to Keating. Now thump to the deck is Clement.
Gobble, gobble.
Now Johnson will end up with the ball, did it pretty well. And the kick out of the area by Davis is going to work for the Pies. It'll tumble across the line right in front of the dock. Peter Larkins in the interchange race.
And nevertheless, they'll be delighted with this, the Magpies, although we say they're kicking with the wind and haven't troubled the scorer too much. In fact, the score's a level. They'll be delighted that they've settled down and haven't let a blowout occur while they get their nerves back.
2 points apiece, the score as we speak, 14 and a half minutes in. No goals as yet in the grand final, and that's on the Triple M scoreboard.
Yeah, the wind's probably nullified somewhat with the rain, Sam, and 14 minutes in, no goals. There's probably a little proof of that, along with the, of course, grand final pressures. Keating knocks the ball back to the boundary line. Gee, they're applying enormous pressure. The Brisbane Lions forwards. Kick was kept in by Headland to Ackermanis' favour. He gets Johnson in the wrong spot, but Johnson keeps his feet. Ackermanis goes over. Johnson under enormous pressure. High ball. Buckley's got to fly. He does it nicely, brings it to ground. Clever soccer. Got it out in front. Freeborn tried to tap it in the path of Burns. It's on the middle of the ground. Here go the Pies. It's Freeborn. He's been good so far in the game. Takes a bounce. Works wide on the half-forward line. Now brings it back on the left boot. Betheras flies. Lepage over the top. A lot of Brisbane players down. Collingwood keep their feet. O'Brien with a sneaky little kick forward. And Chris Scott dropped the mark but got time to gain control.
Got it to Power. He goes wider to Sean Hart. The Brisbane Lions premiership players up and running. Hart left foot from half-back. Long pumping ball looking for Brown. Being held no free. On the deck he did beautifully. Handball on the up, missed its target. Now Hart's got to get back involved. Short little kick from him. Voss, the hands were supreme. 5 possessions for the champ. Got it to Lappin. His handball off to Lepage. Found its target eventually. Lepage tumbling ball inside the 50. Beats all. On the deck, McKee back there, the spare man. His kick's a shocker. Ackermanis getting involved. Picks it up. Handball to Lynch. Running at the goal. Lynch. Shot. Missed it. With Jonathan Brown all on his own in the centre of the ground, he went for the shot on goal, Alistair Lynch, and missed it. It's a behind. They lead it by a point, the Lions. 3 points, Collingwood 2 points, Triple M scoreboard.
Wouldn't mind getting the tackle count there again. I reckon it swung a little bit more back to Brisbane, but it just seems they crunched them. They really hit them.
Clement wide to Freeborn, who marks at half-back for Collingwood. Goes over the top. Tarrant has led strongly on this northern wing. Got one in the back from Michael. Tarrant will get the free kick, and Mike McLean better get out the record books. Could be a goalless first quarter. I'm not sure whether that's ever happened in grand final history. Long way yet. We've played 17 minutes.
18-8 tackles in favour of Collingwood.
Tarrant kicking inside 50. Fraser flew, couldn't get it. Buckley was front and centre, tried to work back onto the left. A beautifully weighted left foot kick to Betheras. Betheras is marked 30 metres out directly in front. Well within distance.
And I suppose this just about nullifies one another, because the main strength Collingwood have is Rocker on the forward line, and he'll be very lucky to take one overhead mark today. But of course, Alistair Lynch and Jonathan Brown up the other end will be about the same. But they're a bit more mobile than he.
2 goals last week, 3 possessions and 1 mark in this game. He lines up at the punt road end, 30 metres out directly in front. Rupert Betheras comes in. Will he nail the first goal of the game?
Close.
Collingwood cheer squad like it. Goal umpire said, "You're trying to con me," and it'll be just a minor score. Lions are 3 behind on the Triple M scoreboard. Collingwood likewise. We've played 17 and a half minutes first quarter.
Just saw why Collingwood are going short into their forward line every time. Chris Johnson peeled off the back, went goal square by 20 metres and left Betheras alone. They are just peeling off, trying to go to the goal square each time, the Brisbane backmen. So you've got to use up the short leads if you are a Collingwood player.
Scott goes short to Ashcroft. Half back for the Lions. Thumping long ball down the outer side. They're going to fly from all directions. The ball on the deck now. The Lions with a chance. Soccer forward. Great footy, Clement. Jeez, he's met solidly by Voss. On the up, Buckley picks it up and thumps it back from whence it came. Lepage has to work very hard.
Voss
he thumps
down
it from the side. Keep an eye on it, Samuel. Black on the deck. They're going at it very hard, the Pies, but they're stumped across the line. Voss making his way to his feet.
It's just in the Niagara Falls, mate. He'll be all right.
And Martin Pike dealt a very heavy bump on Nathan Buckley.
So the boundary throw in, half forward for the Pies. 3 points apiece to the front of that exchange. Now Lappin picks it up. He's claimed from behind. Just a little slow to react at the moment, the Lions with the footy. Now we'll have a bounce. 80 out.
And the umpire's doing a pretty good job. Tough.
But we've got a player down behind player, Brisbane player, and he's in all sorts of trouble. He's done ribs, and he will come from the ground. He's in all sorts of trouble.
Free kick to Burns. He's playing on Simon Black, off the play.
So Burns will thump it long inside the forward 50 for the Magpies. Coming from the side of Fraser was Lepich. Thumped it across, will have a boundary throw in Dr. Peter Larkins.
Yeah, dislocated shoulder for Bo McDonald. We saw him get hurt last week. He's been playing with the loose shoulder for quite a while now, JB. They took the risk to play him, and unfortunately he's dislocated, still out of the socket.
Wow.
Yeah, he got double teamed on the ruck throw in then.
Boundary throw in forward 50 for the Magpies. No goals yet. It's 3 points apiece. McDonald's coming
Great
up with a
tackle.
dislocated shoulder, as the doctors reported. And I tell you what, the pressure, Collingwood have done an enormous job to the 20-minute mark to hold them up and just turn it into a real dogfight.
And the umpire's doing a good job. I was about to say, pretty tough when it's scraggy like this not to be paying free kicks just unnecessarily.
Martin Pike was gangbanged by 2 Collingwood players in their forward 50. He was nailed, but he's tough and he gets up. Tackles 23-10.
He actually liked it.
In favour of the Magpies. Rocker from the contest knocks it down. Black was pinned. That was dropping the ball. Burns with a perfect tackle. Nothing on. I tell you what, as every minute goes by, Collingwood are gaining a little bit of confidence.
And Nathan Buckley has taken himself down to occupy Jason Cloak's ex-role of being a spare man in defence. Now he's been told by Mick Malthouse not to do that. Get down and kick a goal. Don't worry about saving it.
Said to the runner in body language, well, what the hell do you want me to do? Which end do you want me at? And now he comes forward. The runner's a little confused out there as well.
Now, what it was, Voss went to full forward with that hit to the nuts, and he's opposed to Buckley, so Buckley drift down there with him.
McDonald going straight to the rooms for Brisbane. He is in all sorts of trouble. Fraser's got the ball 55 metres out for Collingwood. Kick to the goal square. They fly over the heads. Burns got a chance here. Knocked through. Rush behind. 4 behind Collingwood. 3 to the Lions. We've played 21 minutes. Golden Chef scoreboard.
Bathiris with a set shot, really the only chance for the Pies so far, and for the Lions, Lynch on the run from the pocket. So just 2 probably gilt-edged chances for goals, 1 to each club. So it's been a very tight start to this grand final. 4 behind Collingwood, the Lions 3. Go, Sam.
I'm just going to say we're doing a colour coding chart on Eddie's face. It started off in just normal pink. It's now turned to a light shade of puce, and we'll keep an eye on it for changing colours. The litmus test on how the Pies are going.
The eyeballs there, Sam.
Chris Scott to bring the footy back in. Scott Burns coming, as you heard Brian Taylor mention, from the ground with the blood rule. Scott goes long with the drop punt to the outer side. Martin Pike did beautifully well. Got rid of his opponent.
Played on. Umpire didn't see it.
And he'll take the mark at half-back.
See how Brisbane get all the numbers to about 5-10 metres outside 50, either side 45-degree angle for kick-ins. They always go long.
5 possessions to Martin Pike. Goes in search of Brown. Ball thumped to the front. The runners get to his feet. White has the ball stripped away. Headland now claimed in a tackle. The Pies are really hitting the ball very, very hard. And the good news, Brian, is there's some blue sky over the main scoreboard.
It is clearing.
The weather is clearing.
First time today, Jim, we are seeing clear skies out to the west here at the moment. Free kick will go Brisbane's way. I tell you what, I'm serious. As every minute goes by, Collingwood are gaining in confidence with their attitude has been relentless. Mind you, Brisbane have been fantastic in that area as well. Keating with a high ball inside 50. Wakeman flies. The double fister away. O'Brien tries to sweep it out in front of Johnson. He's got the run of the ball. He picks it up cleanly. Gave it off to Clement. Clement's got a wide player out there on Mathiris. He'll
see no one down to kick it to.
Right in front of the interchange area. Goes inboard with his 4th stat. Steinford. Steinford kicks a shocker. And Pike will mark it centre half.
He'll get BOG today, Pike.
Handball off to Lappin. Lappin pumps it wide. They've got some room out there now.
6 possessions
This
to Pike.
is Lynch on the wing. Drops it over the top. Chris Johnson's run hard. Johnson a kick and a half out from the Brisbane line goal. Thumps it inboard. They've got a couple of options here. Well done. Johnson did really well. Got a handle in there, and now he gets pushed in the back by Voss.
He was punished then. Voss, he just didn't get low enough on him.
And the free kick will go to Ben Johnson. Plays on. Comes the member side. This kick's got to work. It will. Fraser in some space at half-back. Takes the mark. Thought about the handball off to Prestigiacomo. Then goes himself. Kick to centre half forward. A good kick. Found Tarrant.
Give it to Rocker.
Give it back.
Fraser.
Give it back.
Fraser going to get it now, Dermot. Short kick will find Josh Fraser. 55 out from the Collingwood goal.
Kick it into the square, mate.
That's play on.
He's gone. He has to go
Hawking.
now. Called to go. Handball off to Bathiris. Bathiris 55 out. High ball from that player will land in the hot spot. Lynch back there to fly against Rocker. Thump to the front. Scott pushed in the back. Will get a free kick.
They're same as Voss at the other end. So that's consistency.
Chris Scott with the footy.
Indeed. Last line of defence. Scoreboard update. Collingwood 4 behinds. Lions 3 behinds. We've played 24 and a quarter minutes. Could be a goalless first quarter in a grand final. Not sure whether that's happened before. Mike McLean's onto that one for us. Brown out wide. Prestigiacomo infringed. Lappin gets the spilling ball, soccers it in favour of Hart, didn't go hard enough at it. O'Brien put himself over the ball. Loning went and got it right in front of the interchange area. Doc Larkins, Burns ready to come back on.
Yeah, Burns has had his nose fixed, and Beau McDonald's still in the rooms. They've gone into the rooms on the Collingwood side to try and get his dislocated shoulder back for Brisbane.
Boundary throw in centre wing on the northern side. Football. Steinford went in, got met very solidly. Another ball. Correct. Free kick. Will go Collingwood's way on centre wing.
McKee will take it. Go, Dermot.
Doc, just quickly, McDonald, he's actually popped that shoulder before, hasn't he?
Yeah, came in. He did it last weekend, Dermot, not for the first time, so it's been a chronic one.
Fraser thumps it to the front and then spins around very nicely. His kick finds the Curia at half forward. 2 kicks out, kick and a half out from goal. He certainly won't get the journey, Paul Licuria.
Oh, Michael was bumped heavily by Didac.
The kick inside the forward 52. Rocker finds him.
Now here's a genuine chance. This man can kick in wet, snow, sleet, sunshine. He can kick it 60 metres any given day.
Licuria off, Scotland on.
The conditions improving by the minute.
I don't think they want them to improve Collingwood. I think they'd be very happy to slug it out in the wet.
He is 55 out. Well, the player on the mark is just inside the 50, but he'll be kicking from 55 out. He's got the wind over his right shoulder.
And a great sign for the Pies. Josh Fraser is doing some very nice things.
4 possessions so far for Anthony Rocker. Big kick here for the first goal of the game. 4 behinds they are. Brisbane Lions 3 behinds. Got it beautifully off the boot.
That is a magnificent kick.
To the crowd, bang! 1-4-10 Collingwood. Brisbane 3 behinds, the early running with the Pies. And that is on the Triple M scoreboard.
It saved Mick McLean going through the record book page by page.
There'd be no doubt there'd be some opening quarter in a grand final back in the 19th century where they only used to kick 2 goals, 22 a game. No doubt. But look, they've worked it pretty well here, the Pies. The only thing you've got to say is they've got a 7-point lead here for all their hard work. All their hard work's only been a 7-point lead.
They've scrapped it out though, Dermot. Yep. They didn't expect to lead by 5 goals. And so a goal would be enough even if the siren blew now. 27 minutes. It'll be a shortish first quarter. No question of that. Given the fact there's only been 1 goal kicked and very few hold-ups. Ball up in the middle. Umpires deciding to throw it up now. Keating down. Buckley clearing kick out of the middle. Rocker went hard. Michael went a little bit harder. Knocked it out in front of Headland. Wasn't clean with the hands. Allowed the Pies but Ferris to pick it up. Got it out to Freeborn. Freeborn looks for Didac and Fraser. But running back power took a beautiful mark for the Lions in the fence.
It was terrific football, Brian. Eyes only for the ball. Sideways he goes and finds Lappin, mind you. You'd expect that in a grand final. Short goes Lappin to Martin Pike, who's had 7 possessions already.
He's on a wing against Glenn Freeborn. Freeborn does not play close.
Mal Michael presents now for him. He'll go further afield. And this is Jonathan Brown diving in. Couldn't get a handle on it. Prestigiacomo picks it up. Goes back by hand. Here's Burns. Kick inside the 50. High ball. Lepic in front should mark. Goes with a double fist. Look for Lappin. Did it well. Pike's going to get another possession here. Streaming through half back. He'll get it back for another one. Pike. Centre of the ground. Now we'll go the kick. Drop punt inside the 50. Voss comes from the side. Tries to work Clement off the footy. On the ground, Lynch. Handball back in search of Voss.
It's in the back.
Now across the line.
Geez, lucky there.
Boundary throw in about 25 around from the Brisbane Lion goal. They trail it 3 behinds they are. Collingwood 1-4-10. And we are approaching quarter time in the grand final.
Danger here. They're very good at these, Brisbane.
Here's Keating and McKee. Keating won it. It's bouncing. Top of the square. Loney's got to be very careful. Taps it across the line for a behind. The Lions now have 4 of those. Collingwood 1-4-10. 28 and a half gone.
The last
first term.
Goalless first quarter, Mick tells us, was in 1927 between Collingwood and Richmond.
So Dermot was right. Back in the 20s. Ball out wide, loading to the pocket. They've done a wonderful job of quelling the Brisbane early onslaught that everyone expected.
Of course I was right.
And they've got away with 1/4. So now it boils down to a 3/4 grand final, doesn't it, Dermot?
Yep, well, that's all Collingwood want. They can't beat them over 4 full quarters and have a 0-all draw.
They've got it down to 3/4.
Yep.
They can get it down to 2. They're a chance. But there is our wide marks.
That's it.
Sounds.
Well done.
First quarter of football. Who would have believed it? Collingwood will come in front at quarter time by 6 points, and that has given everyone at the ground great hope. The Magpies were great. The Lions, they were hard at it as well in this first quarter of football, and they trail though. 4 behind the Lions. They failed to kick a goal. Collingwood through Rocker from 55 got the only goal of the quarter.
That quarter for IGA Liquor. IGA Liquor, proudly independent.
For McDonald's.
Triple M rocks footy.
Never miss a single goal with McDelivery. Available via the Uber Eats app.
It was David versus Goliath.
This game makes you proud of the underdog, does it?
Now, relive every massive moment.
What a game of football.
This is the 2002 AFL Grand Final. As for McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
This quarter for Ream. Built tough for Aussie conditions with the latest technology. When it comes to water heating, install a Ream.
James Brayshaw, second quarter of football is underway.
1-4 to 4 behinds. The Collingwood Footy Club lead it at quarter time. Boss, a magnificent smother. Approaching the 50. Left foot for Lynch. Missed it. It was thumped away. Ball on the ground. Headland descends on it. He's now dispossessed. Well done. The Pie defence really worked hard. And there'll be a bounce 25 out from the Brisbane goal.
I don't reckon he even knew he smothered that, Vossi. I reckon he got it kicked into his throat and he didn't even flinch.
No. He's a tough unit. There's no question of that.
And that came indirectly because of Clark Keating belting it out of the centre again.
One back by Lynch. Now a bouncing footy. Buckley is dispossessed. That was Buckley with a couple of Bs. And now a free kick's going to go to Nathan Buckley.
George Thorogood style.
Exactly
Buckley.
Right. 7 possessions for the Collingwood champ.
He'll have to change it here because Clark Keating straight down the line here.
At half-back, he has the kick. Sideways he'll go, and he'll find McKee.
McKee now has got O'Brien short, but he wants to bring it inside with a risky kick to Presti Giacomo, who didn't have clean hands. Picks it up, O'Brien, now under the pump, almost stolen. There it was. Notting got a piece of it and got one in the back and a high.
The longer you keep the ball in the zone, the bigger chance you give Brisbane to dispossess you, Brian.
It'll be McRae at half forward. 60 metres out from goal. Chisels it into Lynch. Lynch marks deep in the pocket, right on the boundary line. There could be not a more acute angle in football. Forward pocket, southern stand, punt road end. Lynch missed an opportunity in the first quarter, had 3 touches.
Well, Wakeland's even with the point post, so technically he's only 7 metres out.
Lynch with the right foot banana, tries to bend it around, has missed. So Brisbane continue the run of behinds. They've kicked 5 behinds in this game so far.
Kicked a few this year.
And they have. 1-4-10, the stat that Mike McLean gave us at half-time, or at quarter time, that Brisbane had only lost 5 first quarters or 6 first quarters for the year. Significant in this game, I reckon.
Long ball from the defence to look for McKee. Thump to the back and Buckley's got the run of it. He'll need to be clean with the ball. He is as always. Didak now with it. On the wing, kick to half forward. Oh, holding surely against Tarrant. Will go to Chris Scott at half back.
It's a bit stiff because Scott made the initial contact, worked his way to the front, and Tarrant thought, well, good for one, good for all, and he put a hold on him then.
Handball off to Luke Power. His short kick finds Ashcroft. Further afield he goes, and he's got Pike. Left foot, worried off the kick, but it's okay, and Leppich will take the mark. I tell you what, they're starting to look pretty good, the Lions, to me. Over the top they go. Johnson's got it at half forward. Thought about going now. Goes back on the mark. Drop punt inside the forward 50. Lynch will have a run at this. Just couldn't mark it. On the ground, Black dispossessed. They're going to kick it towards the line, the Pies. That'll be a good result for them. Burns it was. It tumbles over for a boundary throw-in just inside the forward 50.
That was the first time today that Leppich has decided to take it on himself and run forward. And then Chris Johnson ran forward of him. They're just starting to look all right here, Brisbane.
The Pies lead it by 5 points. Coming through Loney. Just lifted his head on that contact. Now the ball bouncing towards Keating. tunnels it between his legs. Actually did it brilliantly in the end. Got it to Voss. His standing kick's going to find Akamanis. Lucky, but nice.
He'll step in.
And he's gone with a left foot kick over the top, looking for Lappin, and kicked it out of bounds on the full. So a mistake from Akamanis. Let's go to Dr. Peter Larkins.
Yeah, Sam Clark Keating's got a hard day ahead of him. Bo McDonald, for 20 minutes, guys, has still been in the rooms with a dislocated shoulder, so they're obviously having trouble getting it back in the joint, which would mean you're not likely to see him again, even though he has done it before.
I want a comment from Sam in the next break of play as to whether Clark Keating can handle the ruck duties for the rest of the day in the absence of McDonald if he doesn't come back. Ball in dispute. Southern stand wing Didak of Collingwood takes on Power. Yeah. Power beat him. Ran into the O'Brien tackle though, dispossessed. Ball in dispute at ground level over the line out of bounds. Sam, what do you think, Keating?
Well, I'm sure he can. If McKee can, he can. But the other string that Collingwood have, if you like, is if it does get wetter later on in the game and Rocker has no value at centre half forward, he can go into the ruck as well.
5-point lead to the Magpies. 4.5 minutes in the second quarter. Triple M ruck and football. Simmons home scoreboard. Kick to half forward for the Brisbane Lions. Have been in attack all of this second quarter. Black, little right foot pass was beautiful. Mark has been taken by Headland. Right, he'll kick from right on the 50-metre line. Just 10 metres inside the boundary. Punt road end. In Headland comes, sends it to the top of the square. Jonathan Brown Lynch got a bit of a set. The punch away though is up to ground level. McRae swats it out to Hart. Hart for the first goal for the Lions. Has nailed it. Brilliant McRae play. Hart a finisher. Brisbane their first goal. 1-5-11. Collingwood 1-4-10. Brisbane by a point at the 5-minute mark of the second quarter.
I don't think it's got any real big bearing on the game, but Nathan Buckley walked up to Steve McKee at quarter time and shook his hand on his effort, and it was a congratulations on being in front at quarter time. There's certain little stepping stones you put in your game, and I reckon it's just a bit early to actually say well done on one of them. And it just looks like Brisbane are just getting their game together now, and this is the real danger period for Collingwood.
1-5-11 the Lions, 1-4-10 the Pies, but the Lions are up and running. Don't worry about that. Here's Black running at the footy. The handball wide finds Scott. Brad Scott inside the forward 50. Lynch, well done, Wakeman. Just out-bodied him and now has given it away. Has he? Let's wait on the umpire. No, Lynch played it up.
Faked that, I reckon.
He's laughing, Lynchy.
What are they doing now? He's going to kick it, Wakeland. Lynch still not on his feet.
Oh, no, I tell you what, he's actually given him one.
Wakeland goes out sideways to McKee. Good kick on the wing now. McKee's kick to half forward. Fraser to fly from behind. Thump to the front. Mal Michael. Lepich puts a tackle on Loney. He loads it up with a left boot. Loney long to the square. Couldn't take the mark on the line. And now Chris Johnson in best position will pick it up, but it was across the line for a boundary throw-in before that, as Lynch argues his case with the umpire Matthew James at the other end, Brian Taylor.
Well, it's good to see the umpire actually talking to him and listening to his version.
Yeah. Taking a close look at that. Here's Clark Keating, wins it to the ground. Martin Pike, who has brought his own Sharon to the grand final today, goes to Power, and Power goes long. Burns, well done.
11 to Pike, JB, 11 possessions.
Burns has got the ball on centre wing, northern side of the ground. Lynch still conferring and talking and discussing why he didn't get the free kick. In the meantime, Collingwood have got possession of the ball. O'Brien on centre wing, kick out wide. Black got a hand of it. Lucuria still able to gobble up. Handball backward to Burns. Burns now goes forward with Johnson. He accepts the mark, 60 metres out. Johnson with a little poker. Missed Didak on the lead. A lot of Brisbane players flooding back, Hart marked. Crosses the ground to the southern stand side of Brad Scott. Brad Scott out in front. Headland, look at this athlete. Pick up the ball in front of Steinford. Headland will drive the ball back to Lynch. Lynch and Wakeland one out. Akamanis is there. Lynch couldn't mark it. He's first to recover. Gathers the ball. Wakeland pounds him in the tackle. Ball over the line out of bounds. Scoreboard reads 1 point advantage Lions. 8 minute mark second quarter. Sam Newman.
Well, I don't think it's any coincidence the Lions have gone up another gear since the rain stopped.
Ball to the front from Lynch, picked up by Lappin, left foot high kick to the top of the square. Prestigiacomo with him Brown. Presti needs to be composed and picks it up, but then he turns it over. Just thumped it into the centre of the ground, and Johnson takes the chest mark.
Don't forget they've still got Akamanis to step up into the middle.
He finds Voss 70 out from goal. Michael Voss with his seventh possession. He goes for a torp and gets onto it. A big long barrel. Lynch in best position. Mark
same spot
gives
as
away
the
a free
last
kick.
High tackle.
gives away a free kick. He's not a happy camper at the moment, Alistair Lynch.
Oh, that's a charity. That is a charity. Wakeland's put the hands to the eyes and the hand dragged across the side of the neck.
Now he's looking to give it off.
He points at Lynch and says, well, you got me that time, but...
It's a great battle, though, those two.
It is, Sam, and Wakeland's done a very good job. He goes with the drop punt to the outer side. Buckley in best position. If he can keep it in, he does. Only just. The skipper has got it at half-back for the Pies. Davis makes some space inboard. He goes further afield. Rocker and Mal Michael. The latter thumped it. That's a mark. He got a fist to it and then caught the rebound. So Mal Michael has had one possession. This is it. In short, he goes to Lappin, centre of the ground. The Brisbane Lions have dominated.
A lot of room out this side. They're going to keep it in the heavily populated side, though. Lepich forward again.
He's got it. Lepich handball on. He's got it to Hart just outside the 50. Left foot kick, looking for Voss. Beautiful hands.
I'm telling you, Jim Boy, the player between Collingwood winning this game and losing it is this man here, Voss.
Yep.
If they can get him out of the game somehow, and you can use your imagination about that, they'll be 50% better off.
Set shot inside the 50. Kick on the way from Voss. He's missed to the near side. That's a behind. 1-6-12, the Lions. Collingwood 1-4-10.
Tell you what, we're going to go in at half-time with no more than 3 or 4 goals being kicked in the game.
Wait for it, Brian.
And that is exactly what Collingwood have hoped and wished for. It is clearing. Sam is worried about that, and the handling of the ball is getting better and better. That'll bring Brisbane into the game. Keating flew for the mark, couldn't get it. Ground level Black, shovels out the handball to Lappin, spins back on the right boot. He's got a loose Jonathan Brown in the middle. He'll accept the mark. He's got an absolute paddock. A paddock with nothing in it. As Brown goes forward to Lynch in the pocket again. Lynch fell over. Wakeland appeals for the free kick. And Matthew James, the umpire at that end, is having his work cut out, dealing with the Lynch and Wakeland affair. Will have a boundary throw in forward pocket. Stats
11-3 inside 50s this quarter in favour of the Lions.
Yep. Looking for Lynch too much now.
Boundary throw in. Lynch involved here with Wakeland. Gets rid of Wakeland. Ball on the ground. Socket out of there. Picked up by Brown, who's starting to have an impact. Slips the handball over the top to Brad Scott. High ball to the hot spot. Top of the square. Freeborn and Pike to fly. Thumped away by the Pies defence. Burns picks it up. Kicks it back into the centre. Johnson, who's been very good, meets it full-chested. Chris Johnson picks it up just outside the 50. Kick inside, might have been smothered. Play on, thump to ground. The whole game is being played in the Brisbane forward half at the moment. Black picks it up, steps around, left foot shot on goal from Black. Has it got the carry? It hasn't. Freeborn slaps it across the line for another behind. Lions 1-7-13. Collingwood 1-4-10. If you're a Pies fan at the ground at the moment, you're getting very Ian and also his brother Brucey Nankervis, because the Lions are looking very good. Long ball, and Ryan Loney at halfback for the Pies has got it. They only lead, though, Brian, by 3 points. 1-7-13 Brisbane. Collingwood 1-4-10.
Collingwood just the 3 entries inside 50 in this quarter of football. We've played 12 minutes. Lepich, the punch away from Fraser, was excellent. Knocked it back to the boundary line. We'll have a boundary throw in. Half forward for the Lions on the north side. 1 goal 7, the Lions, to Collingwood 1 goal 4. Boundary throw in. A game full of pressure, full of intensity. Collingwood have done well. Brisbane just starting to find a bit of the football now. Loney off hands over the line, out of bounds.
Simon Black, Michael Voss and also Luke Power, the dangers this quarter, all with 4 possessions already for Brisbane.
Boundary throw in. We've had ball-ups, we've had throw-ins, we've had it all. Lappin, now we're getting a bit of class football as well. Lappin centering ball back. Good mark taken. Buckley didn't hang on to it, said the umpire, fair enough. Wakeland was stripped of the ball in the Voss tackle. Socket off the ground. Collingwood having a crack. Steinford, Johnson combined. Buckley comes out with the ball somehow. Little kick, goes to Freeborn. He accepts the ball and half back. Got it to the penetrator. Loney, he runs beautifully. Left foot kick out to Dak. Marks. Edge of the square, half forward. Now can they get something happening forward? Didak with a long ball.
Fraser! Oh! 50, reported, everything you like.
That'll be 50. He'll be reported, as Sam said.
Oh, and he's given him one.
Michael's showing one as well. Fraser will get up. Rocker just pushed Johnson out of the way. Or Scott it was, and he may lose it. Fraser will line up from 5 metres out. A box on. Players converging at the city end. The first real piece of feeling in the game.
Well, I tell you what, if Jason Cloke was reported, that man will be reported.
He actually has contacted him with the shoulder there.
Another Collingwood player's gone down off the play.
Oh, it's a charge. It's not a strike, it's a charge.
Didac was dropped by Brad Scott off the ball. Fraser lines up to put Collingwood in front by 3 points. He kicks it up to the punchman stand. 30 tears back.
It's on over there. Michael Rocker. It's beautiful stuff.
Both Scots.
Collingwood by 3 points. Lucuria says to Brad Scott, you do that to my mates and you'll be answerable to me.
I've had a colour check, Brian. Yep. It's gone from red to ruby up there in the second tier. A vein now starting to jut out on the guttural level of the neck.
That's Eddie Maguire we're talking about. If you're wondering, Paul Lucuria needs to be very careful if he wants to take on either of the Scott boys that way. Because he's fighting right out of his division. Back in the centre. Hart brings it to the front. Free kick will go his way.
Shepherd.
The Pies are in front in the grand final. We're halfway through the second term. Long ball inside the 50 from White. Number of players scragged off it. Picked up by McRae. High ball forward. Voss going back with the flight. Oh, nearly. Took a slips catch at the MCG. It's through for another behind to Brisbane. 1-8-14. They trail Collingwood 2-4-16. Triple M.
Sorry, James. They're obligated to have this physical go, Collingwood, aren't they? I mean, Brisbane just dominate teams physically. They're imposing, but look, you just don't want to get bashed up by them. If you're inviting them to do it to you, they could really turn the tables, but they're obligated to have a go here, Collingwood.
They did, and it was Brisbane that fired the first shot there. With the bowling over of Fraser. Up goes Tarrant, couldn't mark the ball. Ground level, McRae stripped. Probably didn't have it. No free kick. Ball up. Somehow the ball comes out. Headland went really hard at it. Excellent. Knocked it on the Pike. Pike a snap at goal. Kicked it out of bounds on the full. So 1 goal 8. 14 the Lions. Collingwood at 2-4-16. An intriguing contest here at the MCG today. Collingwood in the second quarter kicking to the city end. The Lions to the punt road end.
The amount of footy they've had, Brian, the Lions should be 2 or 3 up, really, shouldn't they? They have dominated this quarter of footy, and they trail it by 2 points.
I reckon the Lions are a bit like your side Hawthorn when you said they were 5 goals down against the West Coast, Dermot. I don't think they'd be worried yet, the Lions.
No, they haven't panicked.
Boundary throw in. You're listening to the grand final on Triple M. Brown tries the roundhouse, doesn't connect with the ball, and now we have another bounce. Mike McLean.
Not that big a difference in possessions this quarter, JB. 35 to Collingwood, 43 to Brisbane, only 8 innings.
Yeah, the majority of them been in one half of the ground.
Yeah, they've been in one half of the ground, and they've actually had run forward to the centre.
So Brown and McKee. Brown pushed off it, ball on the ground. McKee goes and gets it, and then shovels a handball out. Good. Got it to Buckley. Buckley's kick to Nick Davis. He's dispossessed by Ashcroft. Well done, Davis. Gave him the don't argue. Now the kick inside the 50.
Anthony.
Fraser going back will be 1 out.
Free kick downfield. Brad Scott rubbed Nick Davis's head into the dirt after he'd got rid of it, and that was unnecessary, stupid, aggressive play from Scott. And he tells him now.
Good get, Brian.
So we have a situation where Pike comes from the ground, and Anthony Rocker can kick the Pies' second goal in a couple of minutes.
Malloy on for his first run.
I might see some fireworks now.
Yeah, I just wonder whether that's a timely move to bring him on now, Dermot. I think it is, because the game's hotting up.
Yeah, absolutely. But the one thing you don't want him to do is say to himself, oh, it's starting to hot up, I've been brought up, I'll mix it up with him, and he just goes stupid and they take their mind completely off footy. You've got to balance it. Still got to be rough and get the footy.
Anthony Rocker to extend the lead to 8 points. Kick on the way, right through the middle. Collingwood are hanging tough at the MCG. 3-4-22. Brisbane 1-8-14, 17.5 into the second term on the Triple M scoreboard.
And those great words of Wayne Britton when he got the arse, they're hanging fat.
Now,
half his luck.
Ackermanis is into the middle for the first time today.
when are we in this box going to start to hand out to some credit to Collingwood instead of saying continually that, you know, here come Brisbane.
They're fantastic. They've done really well. But you're talking about, in relative terms, I mean, they're just not the class of Brisbane. But, gee, they've had some turn-ups this year. This might be one of them. Let's hope.
I'll ask you again in the third quarter. Alan will ball it up in the middle.
Don't forget to have an opinion yourself.
Okay. Well, I am. I'm saying let's give them some credit. They're in front on the scoreboard.
And we have.
And they're attacking Brisbane at their own game. Wakeland just bowled over a couple. 10-pin bowling action there. Got it to Johnson inside to Lucuria. Had a little bit of dose of fumbles there. Ackermanis picked Lucuria bonds him over. Black got the ball at ground level. Handball out wide of Power. Rupert Matheras was like a submarine. He was going in low and hard. Matheras got the handball from Lucuria. Little bending kick around a corner to Scotland. Couldn't mark it to play. Umpire said play on, and then he played the mark. Comes out to Scott, and they're away the line through the middle.
It to his brother in the centre of the ground. Hits the ground running. Brad Scott, long ball forward. Voss one out. It's going to carry him. And Clement did beautifully well at the top of the square to take the mark. This kick's got to be good. Didak running on the outer side with Des Headland. Picks it up the left footer. Kick down the line is too strong out in the full. Although a push in the back free kick is going to go the way of the Pies. And Anthony Rocker will receive it on the outer side. Score check, Triple M footy. 3-4-22 Collingwood. The Lions 1-8-14. And the footy is going to come all the way back to Alan Didak at halfback for Collingwood. Left foots it down the line. Loney, good mark. Really good mark in opposition to McRae. Wing half forward out of side. 10th possession to Ryan Loney. Left foot, high ball inside the forward 50. They come from all directions, and in the end, Mal Michael is happy to see it over the line for a boundary throw in left half forward with the Pies in attack. Dr. Peter Larkins.
Yeah, Brisbane getting a little bit more nervous, JB. Martin Pike off the ground with a strained right adductor, groin muscle, very restricted. They worked on him at quarter time, couldn't get him right, off the ground.
Collingwood by a goal, 20-minute mark on the scoreboard. Free kick will go Brisbane's way in the back line. Ackermanis wants it, and he'll get it.
I tell you what, that is just... everything is falling for Collingwood. If Martin Pike's off the ground with injury, that is almost as good as taking Michael Voss off.
He had 12 possessions, Sam, the most on the ground.
Malloy is bumping and bruising and blocking Black's run at the ball. Ackermanis taking a while to get this kick underway on the back line. For the Lions, we've played 20 minutes second quarter. Collingwood by a goal. The blonde, human talking machine, Jason Ackermanis. Left foot kick, Dermot. That's a sign of the problems he's having. Get a comment from the doc in a moment. Brown runs away from the contest on centre wing. A driving long ball. Voss one out there, couldn't mark. Wakeland Lynch came across the front. Even contest in the air. And then he gets on top of him and rides him into the round, Wakeland.
Tell you, Brian, that is genuinely a great duel, Wakeland and Lynch. They're... as that old saying goes, no quarter given, none asked for. They're belting the living tripe out of one another, and no recriminations when the ball's gone. They're just doing it when it's around.
Ball up centre forward. McKee knocks it down to Scotland. Play on. Burns sockers it off the ground. Didak and Johnson go at it. Ackermanis fell over his own feet. It was tackled by 3 Collingwood players. Still got the ball out to Johnson. Johnson on the left boot with a dippy little kick. It went nowhere. Burns and Voss bounced off each other. Two of the hardest nuts on the ground. Voss picked it up, gave it to the Brownlow medalist and Black, and Black goal. That is as good. Voss goes up to Burns, gets him right in the nose, and says, "Cop that on the best player in the league."
He is clearly, that was the most selfless passage of play. You called it. I think one of you guys commentating went, and he got punished big time, Vossi. Scotty Burns ran into him, put the point of the shoulder into the side of his cheek and spun him 360 degrees. You know what Vossi did? Not straight up, bounced up, followed the ball and gave off to Black. That is just brilliant footy.
And I tell you, he's having a greater role in this game as it goes on, and that's Jason Ackermanis. He's great as well.
Good since he's gone into the centre now, last 7 minutes.
The big players on the big occasions generally get the job done. Michael Voss, magnificent on that occasion. Ball brought to the ground. White involved in that passage of play. We'll have another bounce. Mike McLean.
Ackermanis has had 4 possessions this quarter. The star, though, has been the Brownlow medalist, Simon Black, with 7 touches this quarter.
22 plays 20. The Pies out by 2 points. Slap to the back. Michael controls it. Now it's on the ground, and Scott's got to put his head over it. He did so. Picked up by Michael. He's dispossessed. Free kick.
Silly.
It'll go to Mal Michael. Michael at half-back with the ball. He's got Scott on offer wide if he wants him. Ignores that. Go to there now. Chris Scott further afield. He has power. Power in all sorts of space. Puts the head down. Has a bounce. Runs to half-forward. Here's Darryl White to take the mark. Good one too. Matheras coming at him. Handball back off to Power. Left foot kick inside the 50. Looking for Lynch. Edged under the ball. Bouncing towards Hart. Kick off the ground by Sean Hart. Almost a goal. just missed to the near side. The Lions 2-9-21 trail the Pies by 1 point. Collingwood 3-4-22, Triple M scoreboard.
The makeshift ruckman Darryl White comes off and big crackers Keating goes back on.
Both sides very mindful of their midfields, Dermot, rotating them continuously through the bench. Plenty of rest for all of the gun midfielders.
Yeah, that'd be the only position on the ground. Brisbane have gone in now and saying, we wouldn't mind a 0-all draw out of that one.
Clement kick in was a shocker. Went to state to Jonathan Brown from 60 metres out. He does the same thing in return, and Wakeland marks last line.
Took a sandwich at that.
1 point lead to Collingwood. 24 minutes in this second quarter. 6 touches for Wakeland on the unbelievable Falcon Ute statue.
Fine player, Shane Wakeland.
Him and Lynch playing directly on each other.
Nothing to kick to.
Wakeland goes very wide. Burns, it was a well-weighted kick in the end. Burns couldn't get there because Black's pressure was good. Touched off, hands over the line, out of bounds, over boundary. Throw in. 60 metres around from the Brisbane punt road goal. 24 minutes. Collingwood by a point. Hart got the first goal of this quarter for Brisbane. Then Fraser and Rocker fired, and Black just got the one moments ago. It's inside the forward 50 for the Lions. Buckley works hard. Handball to Johnson. Clement couldn't pick it up. Johnson, it's in danger zone now. They rush it through for a rush behind Collingwood. And we've got a tied ball game. 22 points apiece, and these guys are just closing in a little bit. We haven't had rain for a while, Dermot.
Win, lose, or draw. I just hope somebody writes about how good that passage of play was by Michael Voss to take that punishment.
Well, you can write about it, mate, in the paper, in The Age.
That's it.
Sport.
On Wednesday.
In The Age, yes, on Wednesday.
Tarkin Lockyer gets it to Heath Scotland. He's got to go now. Goes with the high drop punt to the outer side. This is going to be Brown every day.
Gee, they're owning it now, aren't they?
He's got the mark on the outer side.
But this is good coaching by Collingwood. The game's been played through just sheer ability and dominance in Brisbane's half, yet Collingwood, in relative terms, are restricting their goal kicking.
Short to Power. He pumps it in long. Again, Wakeland just outpoints Lynch, although on that occasion he dropped the mark and it's through from behind. Mind you, in fairness to Alistair Lynch, Sam, the kick did favour his opponent on that occasion. So it is the Lions by a point, 2-11-23. Collingwood 3-4-22 as Nathan Buckley takes the kick in and thumps it long in search of Ryan Loney. He's had a lot of the ball and he marks it at half-back. In short he goes.
See how they kick short? Make sure that Brisbane follow their men up. Buckley's got it. He loves kicking long.
He does on this occasion too. It's a good spot. Long ball to Burns.
He staggered Chris Johnson there. I don't know whether he's got something wrong. The doc might just keep an eye on him.
Kick inside the 50. Tarkin Lockyer. Good kick from Burns. A great kick from Buckley. And now Tarkin Lockyer with a mark and a set shot from about 40 out slide angle.
Well, they've got injuries everywhere, Doc, and we might go down to you in a second, but just keep an eye on him. Chris Johnson, he's walked for the entire time where he didn't quite get to that mark. He just got the staggers like he might have felt a cramp or something.
Well, Tarkin Lockyer has the chance as we approach half-time to put the Pies in front.
McKee having a rest just off the ground in the final couple of minutes of this quarter, so...
3-4-22 Collingwood. The Lions 2-11-23. 1 point they trail by. First possession for Tarkin Lockyer. Great kick. Beautiful kick. Collingwood have made every single bit of their forward 50 entries this term, and they have picked their fourth. 4-4-28. The Lions 2-11-23. Triple M scoreboard.
Yes, I think that's right. Lee Simon saying magenta now, the colour. We've gone from pink to scarlet to magenta, maybe a touch of ruby.
That's Eddie we're talking about, sitting in the southern stand side, directly opposite where we sit, calling this game. Few going for pies and coffee at half-time. Don't go yet because Collingwood are up by 5 points. 27.5-minute mark. Back in the middle of the ground. Fraser and McDonald. Keating it was. McDonald's off the ground with a shoulder. Headland kicks inside 50. Lockyer was there, brought it to the ground. Power recovery. Brian gives it off the Lappin. He's got a free shot at goal and he's missed. First free shot at goal in the game, really. And he had lots of time and he almost kicked it out of bounds in the full. 2-12-24. Brisbane. Collingwood 4-4-28.
Brisbane inside 50 this quarter 22 times for 2 goals. Collingwood 7 for 3 goals.
Yeah.
So the footy with Tarkin Lockyer to bring it back in. Goes in short and finds Loney, who's playing that loose roll across half-back pretty well. He now has Burns on short or Buckley longer. Goes to Burns now.
Yeah, safer though.
It would be a tragedy for the Pies if they conceded a goal here with about a minute to go.
Scotty Burns with the ball inside his own defensive 50. Chisels the pass out. It's going to be chopped off. Des Headland took it in front of Tarkin Lockyer. Wheels around. Goes for it. Looking for Brown. Got it. Oh!
That's 50.
That is 50.
50. Yeah,
It's a goal anyway.
You can't play on. He took the mark.
He might have paid the free, but you're right, Dermot.
That's wrong.
No, the umpire just indicated he paid the free kick. Brett Allen just touched his face and said you got him high.
Well, they marked it first, and then it's either 50 metres or you can't take the play on stage.
Telling you what the
Pushing and
umpire said.
shoving going on in there now. We have Lynch stiff-arming Licuria.
Beautiful.
Headland in there as well. The goal was ended up kicked by Hart, was it, or who? Power, thank you. So...
Well, there's a minute to go, and we just feared that might happen.
Jonathan Brown saying, who did it? Who did it?
3:12:30 Brisbane, 4:28 Collingwood. Back in the centre. Keating to take a run at Fraser and wins it comprehensively. Ball on the ground. This is Lappin. Kick high and forward. McRae will get the bounce of the ball. He'll need it. He's dispossessed. Voss picks it up. Left foot, standing spot. Lynch. Look out! The Brisbane Lions are really just flexing their extraordinary muscle here at the MCG, late stages of the second term.
I tell you, if they're going to smack anyone, they've got to smack Voss.
They are looking the business, the Lions, at the minute. 4 possessions for Lynch. He has been very well held by Wakeland. But on that occasion, as Sam Newman mentioned, there was another piece of highly skilled work from Michael Voss that found the full forward. Kicked 70 goals for the season. This for the first one for today. Kick on the way, yeah. The Lions are starting to roar at the MCG. 4:12:36. Collingwood 4:28. 30 minutes gone, second term. Triple M scoreboard.
Well, as Dermot said, Voss, well, he hasn't said this, he's had 10 possessions, but he did say that they are quality possessions. They're just tough, relentless, heartbreaking if the opposition possessions, and that was another one of them, a magnificent pinpointed left foot drop punt to Alistair Lynch on the rebound. So they must contain. There's a tragedy this is for the Pies. 2 goals kicked against them with a minute to go.
8-point lead to the Lions, 30 minutes. Can't be long to go in the quarter. Scotland ran into a heavy tackle. Voss only as far as Loney. Now Loney to Buckley. Buckley can drive it inside 50. Pies are a chance to get one back. Tarrant and Scott go at it. Tarrant and Scott go at it. Umpire said you're both in it. Play on, fair enough. Good call. Ball at ground level dispute. Leppich has a crack at it. We'll have a ball up attacking 50 for the Magpies.
Big cork thigh on Simon Black in that contest on the wing. In the centre of the ground, he's limping around.
Free kick Collingwood. Free kick to Malloy. Leppich. Umpire said that Leppich had pushed him out of the contest unnecessarily after the ball up was signalled.
20 seconds to go, Brian, so obviously
Leppich.
the clock won't start winding down till he starts to kick it, so this must be a goal.
Leppich furious. Malloy will line up from 40 metres out. He come on the ground about 5 minutes ago. The tank. He stabbed at it. Off the side of the boot. They're going to fly. Big pack forms. A Didac. Didac to Scotland. Right foot snap. Brilliant smother Michael. Brilliant smother Mel Michael.
That's it.
The former Magpie. The ball goes out wide. Collingwood have stuffed up that opportunity. Right on the half-time siren.
Wasn't a Leppich free kick either. It was against Mel Michael, and Leppich is right into Jared Malloy. Look at them, they're ganging up on Malloy. They're saying, you want to come out here and try and flex your muscles. The whole team's on him.
Just got nailed by Rocker as well. Brad Scott has been at his absolute brilliant pestering best out there in this second quarter. The Collingwood boys will walk away. Chris Scott says, I'll have a crack at you. Gives him the finger to Josh Fraser.
Simon Black is real sore, guys. He has got a big cork thigh right in the middle of his left quad.
Well, who would have believed it at half-time?
Good result for the Pies.
Even with the 2 late goals from Brisbane.
Good result.
Collingwood trailed by just 8 points, and I think everyone said that if Collingwood were in it at half-time and not blasted out of the water, then emotions, adrenaline takes over. What a half of football we've got to come.
That quarter for Ream. Built tough for Aussie conditions with the latest technology. When it comes to water heating, install a Ream.
For McDonald's.
Triple M rocks footy.
Never miss a single goal with McDelivery. Available via the Uber Eats app.
It was David versus Goliath.
This game makes you proud of the underdog, does it?
Now, relive every massive moment.
What a game of football.
This is the 2002 AFL Grand Final. As for McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
This quarter for National Tiles. With their everyday low prices, now you can get a quality finish for less.
4-4-28. They trail the Lions 4-12-36.
Umpire still throwing the ball up in the middle. Sign of the conditions. Keating won it down. Burns got clobbered from behind by Jonathan Brown. Jonathan Brown ran off the back of the square and just steamrolled him. Free kick downfield to Rocker.
He could put this in the goal square. He's going to kick from inside the square.
Batheris gives it back to Rocker. Rocker from inside the square. A long drop punt goes right to the goal square. Tarrant got in the back. Fraser almost snuck one over the back.
That's
Free
what
kick.
the Pies have got. Sorry to talk over you, Brian. What they got to do, the Pies, is just not undisciplined free kicks, not give them away. That was a 70-metre kick by Anthony Rocker, and at least let it just fall.
Chris Scott chopped out by Buckley at half forward. The champ picks it up, drops it to the top of the square with a long ball. They fly. Fraser on the ground. Ashcroft stripped to the footy. Scott now over it. They need to be very careful, the Lions. No holding the ball decision. He'll have a bounce 15 out from the Pies goal. As I mentioned, they trail by 8 points as we start the third term. Fraser in ruck, wins it to Davis. Nick Davis with the ball. He's now dispossessed. Swamped is right. Lappin overruns it. Now they're in trouble. Picked up by Fraser. Can't get boot to ball. Keating there. Free kick. Free kick to Josh Fraser.
Please. That was look, that's great. That is great that he's got the free kick. That was a perfectly applied tackle here. He dropped him to his knees from behind. He's fallen on him in the end, but he's dropped him to his knees first.
Ball had gone.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
Well done, Josh Fraser.
Yeah,
he's put his body over the ball, and if you do that, somebody has to dispossess you.
He's going to kick his second goal from point-blank range and put the Pies to within 2 points. Fraser, kick on the way. Great start for Collingwood.
It's been consistent. You'd have to admit, though, the umpires have been consistent with the in-the-back ruling on tackling today. So, look, that is a consistent ruling. We'll wear that one.
5-4-34, the Pies. The Lions 4-12-36, early stages. Third term, Triple M scoreboard.
Mercuria and Voss, just a bit of a pushy in the square, so got everything at the moment this game. Collingwood are hanging in there, just 2 points down at the 2-minute mark of the third.
Look at Jonathan Brown.
Look at Ackermanis.
Ryan Loney was just pulling up his socks and whatever, bent over. So Brown jogs over to him and just bumps him over. He is terrorising everyone within 50 metres of him.
There are spot fires of...
He's going again.
Anger being taken out all over the ground. Knock on by Voss was brilliant to lap and ran through the square at centre half forward. Driving kick, Jonathan Brown. Or is it Lynch? It's Lynch who's marked 2 metres out directly in front of goal. City end.
He had the back position, and Lynchy is one of the few full forwards in history, Brian, as you well know, who actually fights for rear position. As he can see the ball, he can see his opponent, and he can just apply his strength and just toss him out of the way.
Lynch for his second goal, and to give Lions that 8-point buffer again. Comes in City end, 5 metres out, nailed it. Lynch has got 2. 8-point lead to the Lions, 3 minutes in the third quarter on the scoreboard.
They're getting slaughtered out of the centre, Collingwood. It mightn't show that on the stats, but Clark Keating is comprehensively winning the ruck, and the very, very tough running players of, well, not tough, but he's very astute, Lappin and Voss and Ackermanis. If there's a better quartet going around today than Lappin, Voss, Ackermanis and Keating, I'd like to see it.
Lappin is tough these days.
What about the tap on from Michael Voss in that congested situation? He is head and shoulders the best player on the ground at the moment.
Vision.
Back in the centre, Keating wins it again.
There's
Lappin high. Got Lucuria high. That was a free kick.
Notting has taken Batheris to the square at the other end with a bit of a match up in size there, Dern.
Yeah, and super quick, Tim Notting.
Lucuria at the back of the centre circle. Kicks to half forward. Good one too. Here comes the Rocker. Good mark. Good kick from Lucuria and a good mark from Anthony Rocker.
He's tried really hard, Anthony Rocker, today. He hasn't played a great game, but they've just put him in the ruck to give maybe McKee a break or to add a bit of strength. He's stood up for his side. He's kicked a couple of great goals from set shots, and there's another chance to to put the Pies 2 points behind.
7 stats on the sheet for Anthony Rocker, and this is a big kick. He'll kick it from just inside the 50 to the punt road end. And you just get the feeling that the Pies from now on in the run home will need everything going in their favour. And this is a big kick for Anthony Rocker. A good mark and a must goal for the Pies. In he comes. Kick on the way. Looks good off the boot.
That's fantastic.
Terrific footy from Anthony Rocker. The Magpies, you've just got to admire them. Number 3 for number 23. 6-4-40 Collingwood. The Lions 5-12-42. Triple M score.
Well, Michael McLean, Stats has said that tells us Keating's had 24 hit-outs to McKee's 6 and centre clearances Brisbane 8 to the Magpies 3. So that is the real Achilles heel for the Collingwood side, is right here now where the ball's bounced.
Good starting 3 underneath the hands of Keating. Ackermanis, Lappin and Voss up against Buckley, Burns and Licuria.
3 for Rocker. 2-point lead to the Lions. 5 3/4 minutes into this third quarter. Buckley out of the centre square. Got the clearance, but no further than Scott. And that's Brad Scott who marked at centre half back.
Running hard now, Lappin.
Goes wide to that man, Lappin. Can't get on a difficult bouncing ball. Handball's back to Brad Scott. He's running towards the boundary line on the half-back side, northern side. Now he kicks to centre wing, looking for Black. Loney nudged him nicely under the ball. Buckley was working off the side of the ball nicely, gathered the possession at half-back. Buckley pumps the ball long, looking for Didak. Didak pushed his man through the ball, Scott. It comes to ground level. Chris Scott was thrown off the ball. Brilliant tackle by Tarrant. Didn't result in a free kick, but it resulted in Collingwood holding the ball in their forward half of the ground.
She was clever play by Chris Scott there. He waited till he'd been spun 360 before he tried to dish the handball off to his teammate.
Keating wins it, got it to Lappin. Lappin to Notting. Notting went looking for Black, missed him. Now Black gets up and wraps Buckley up in the tackle. He kicks a standing start ball. This time the ball picked up by Notting. Handball down the line. Licuria, terrific chase and tackle from Ackermanis. McKee wrapped up in the Voss tackle. Slapped to the ground. Now Lappin's got a charge at it. Got it to Black. Black with the handball off to McRae. His bouncing ball looking for Brown. Kept it in front of him. Handball on the knees. Missed its target of Headland. On the ground now O'Brien did beautifully well. Spun out with the handball to McKee. Short ball okay to Loney.
Good vision.
Loney through the centre with the handball to Buckley. Centre circle of the MCG. Gets around McRae. A tumbling left footer. Missed it. Missed its target. And Lappin picks it up and thumps it long looking for Ackermanis. Won't find that player.
He can't run.
But McKee in the end possessed it and controlled it and got it to Licuria, who eased it to O'Brien. Left foot inside
Come
the 50.
on, Anthony.
Rocker pushed out of it. No free. On the ground. Lepich clears up and goes in short for the Brisbane Lions and finds Tim Notting.
Ackermanis having trouble running as well. We'll get a comment from the dock at the moment. They are in trouble on the bench as McRae marks at half forward for the Lions.
Hold up. He's got to hold him up here, Licuria.
Ackermanis is free now, but he ignores that. Drives long to Lynch. Lynch has got the front spot this time over the back. Wakeland one behind. Scoreboard reads 5-13-43. Collingwood 6-4-40. Doc.
Yeah, Jason Ackermanis, guys, wearing much heavier strapping on the right thigh. You can barely see it just coming through the bottom of the shorts, but he didn't have that heavy strapping there before half-time. So, as we said, he's got a right groin strain, as has Martin Pike. Simon Black not moving too badly with that cork. Bo McDonald in hospital with a dislocated shoulder.
Jason Ackermanis, Doc, is really struggling. He's
no doubt, Sam, that
got a limp.
He hasn't been able to pursue the ball like we normally see him with his aggressive, fast running.
Clement to bring it back in. He thumps it long. And the kick looks for McKee. Should have taken the mark in the end. He got into very good position. Now on the ground, Keating belts it forward. Wakeland inside his own forward 50 picks it up nicely. And then with the left boot kicks a beauty.
Oh,
Loney, who dropped what he should have taken. Now the handball forward. McRae. Oh, look out. He's been knocked out, McRae.
He's up.
Gets up now. Well done. Now it's McKee. Handball forward to O'Brien. It's Willing. O'Brien takes Ackermanis on and gets around him. Right foot kick needs to work for Buckley. Or Didak. And Alan Didak took it very nicely out of side.
Didak on the centre of the edge of the square in the middle of the ground. 9 minutes played. 3-point lead to the Lions. Didak driving kick inside 50. Rocker the target. He got under the ball. Over the back of the pack. If Fraser can pick it up clean, he'll go to goal. He does. Right foot snap, dragged it too much. Minor score Collingwood. 2 points they try by at the 9.5 minute mark of this quarter. Brisbane are in trouble. They've got 3 basic ineffective players through injury. Stats, Mike McLean.
Buckley's running hot, BT. 5 possessions this quarter, and Ackermanis just 8 for the game. Falcon Utes.
Voss has got it at half-back thanks to Mike McLean's Michael Voss. Drops it over the top. Dangerous kick.
Here
Set
comes
his
the
teammate
rain.
a real target out there. Lappin did it very nicely.
Ackermanis 8 possessions. 4 of those came in about 6 minutes in the second quarter when he went into the middle.
Lappin in short. That kick's good. And Lynch, a long way from home, takes it on the wing out of side. He will go further looking for Brown. He kicks it up in the air, makes it very tough for Jonathan Brown. The slap away from Preston Giacomo. Heads needed over the ball. Well done by the Brisbane Lion player out there in Simon Black.
I think that was good play.
Yeah, ball across the line, boundary throwing. 5-13-43 the Lions, 6-5-41 the Pies. 2 points the margin. Keating wins it on the ground level, got it to Black. He's dispossessed by Buckley, who's lifted big time early in this third term. And the umpire comes charging in, Brett Allen, and says, I'll have it and I'll bounce it. Wing on the outer side, Great Southern stand side. The Lions cling to a 2-point lead. 10 minutes into the third term on the Triple M scoreboard.
Ball up, centering Southern stand side out of the backpack there. Got to Loney. Loney takes a bounce, runs away from the contest. Two bounces, needs to kick it. Little left foot, great poise. Finds Lockyer on the lead. Lockyer marks right on 50. Right on 50. I have to kick at 55.
He should hand that ball over to Anthony Rocker as he runs by.
He's a pretty good kick himself. Lockyer comes in. Kick at the punt road end. It's a long ball, drops 3 metres short. Punch through by Lepich was effective as Keating comes off. Darryl White on. 6-6-42. Collingwood to the Lions. 5-13-43. 11 minutes, third quarter.
They are enjoying a really good little patch here, the Pies. And they trail it by a point, as Brian Taylor mentioned. Chris Johnson to bring the ball back in for the Brisbane Lions.
Oh, son, we don't need that.
Takes his time over it, does Chris Johnson. The kick not good. The spearing ball to the outer side. Chopped out by Lockyer. Handball off to Buckley. He thumps it back at goal. Nathan Buckley.
Oh, you star, Buckley!
Oh, the Pies are in front. Magnificent running goal to Nathan Buckley. The Magpies have hit the front midway through the third term of the Grand Final.
Can you believe it?
7-6-48 Collingwood. That is a magnificent goal to the number 5. The Lions 5-13-43. Triple M scoreboard.
Well, similar to the second quarter, the game's been played in Collingwood's half of the ground now, and they're physically having a real dip here.
Dare we say it, Dermot, a captain's goal. Fair dinkum. If you wanted to start something going, give it to a man like that to kick a goal. He's had a terrific third quarter too.
Collingwood have kicked 3 of the 4 goals in this third quarter. They lead by 5 points. We've played 12 minutes. Could it be? Ball knocked down Hart. Extracts it out of the middle of the ground for the Lions. Notting, got a bad bounce. This allows Freeborn to close up on him. Strips in the ball. Batheris got a little left foot kick under enormous pressure. Travelled 5. Straight to Hart. Now Hart fronts it up, looking for Jonathan Brown. Preston Giacomo was all over his back. Burns goes hard at it. Dish the handball off to McKee. This is a rejuvenated Collingwood side. There's no doubt about that. Kick goes forward to Tarrant. Couldn't win it. Fraser at the back. We'll give it off to Tarrant. Lepich with a goal-saving tackle. It was brilliant. Kept in play, though, by Tarrant. Got it to the hot zone in the middle of the goal. Brisbane got numbers. Rocker tries to steamroll his way through. He applies the tackle on Mel Michael. Rips his head off, takes the ball. Pressure football. Great football.
That's fantastic.
Collingwood by 5 points, 13-minute mark.
Blowing hard there, Anthony Rocker. He's given it. He's given all he's got, and he's sucking in the big ones here. He's got to get a mark, and he's just got to grab it and snap it forward here, because he's got no ability to run after it if it goes away.
Boundary throw in. Batheris ends up almost taking clean possession. Now the handball finds Chris Scott. From the standing start, he goes with a left foot kick outside his own 50. Big mark from Brown, just couldn't hang on. Now on the ground, Brad Scott picks it up. Needs to possess the ball. Gone, hold it. Had to be dropping it.
That's what Batheris is there for. He's there. Number 1 priority for him is to lay tackles in forward line.
Handball off to Buckley. Kick inside the 50. Here comes Nick Davis. Just couldn't take the mark. On the ground, Sean Hart picks it up. Slaps the handball Ashcroft's way. He's against a couple of players. Kick down the line. Lappin tries to keep it in. Can't do so. Outer side, boundary throw in. The Pies look terrific at the moment. 7-6. They lead the Lions 5-13.
Almost sunshine here. Conditions getting clearer and clearer and clearer. And Collingwood are not at all losing the hold on this game.
Headbutts in the middle, Ackermanis, Lucuria.
Yep, they are going at it off the ball, long way off the ball. Scoreboard reads Collingwood 7-6-48, leading the Lions 5-13-43. 14-minute mark, boundary throw-in.
Jonathan Brown walks over again.
Just the enforcer.
Oh, he's a big
Got the persuader out.
Collingwood forward line, Fraser to Buckley. Buckley the give to O'Brien. O'Brien the standing start. Lockie of the danger here. Johnson went high over the pack with a thumping thump. Black was front and centre about 20 metres off the pack. Goes wide with a kick and finds his man out wide on centre wing, southern stand side in Headland. Headland brings it to a standstill. Centering ball by foot found Black. Just got it near the edge of the corridor. On centre wing. Black over the top to Headland. Accepts the mark. This time he's able to run and play on. He turns Rupert Latheris inside out. He runs another 15 metres. Bangs the ball long. Lynch, Brown, all there. Offhand McRae. Soccer from midair. Missed. Minor score. So a 4-point lead to Collingwood. The 15-minute mark on that scoreboard.
48 plays 44. And as Brian and Sam and Dermot have mentioned, the conditions just getting better and better. Kick from Clement to a 1-on-2 situation. Great mark. Notting took a terrific mark. Now he's called to play on. Long handball inboard to Lappin, just outside his own 50. Standing start attempt from him. Lynch coming at the ball and just can't hang on. On the ground, McRae dispossessed. Well done by Wakeland to get it out of there. Got it to O'Brien. That's a great result for Collingwood. O'Brien kicks it towards the line out of side and will find it.
I tell you what, everything's going their way. It's just trickling out when it matters for the Pies, and they're kicking accurately. Rockers kicked 3. They've got an ineffective bench, more or less, the Brisbane Lions. I tell you what, it's all set up for them, but you just can't see them doing it, although if hope is anything.
Buckley bangs a long one out of that exchange. Some heads have got to be over footy now. Lappin, terrifically well done. Rolls over, gets the handball. A short 1-2 to Ashcroft. His kick smothered beautifully by Nick Davis. They're doing the little things well, Sam. The Pies.
They're just so hard at it and so concentrating on not making any fundamental errors. It's just terrific to watch.
4-point lead to Collingwood. We need an update on Eddie. Has he gone Burgundy or Beetroot? Just yet, we're not sure, but Collingwood are in front by 4 points. Buckley's got a free kick. Just between half forward and centre wing on the southern stand side. Punt road end. Buckley's found Burns. Burns will mark inside 50. He can play on. He chose not to. He's marked it on the boundary line. I think it'll be too far for him, Dermot. He's got to kick it all of 50 from the boundary line.
Tarrant.
The Buckley kick that came from 15 metres further out, as he looks at it from the outer side, going late southern stand side to the punt road end, it went a long way as he looks at it from left to right. So it is a gettable goal if he can throw it up.
Burns.
Close.
Got close to the man on the mark, searching for the journey, put it across the face. Rocker flew, couldn't mark. Off hands, one behind. Collingwood, 49. Lions 44, 18-minute mark, third quarter.
And the Lions are saving Clark Keating up their sleeve for the last quarter, and Michael Voss, who spent almost the entire 18 minutes of this third quarter in the forward pocket.
Chris Johnson to bring it back in. Short ball, nice ball. Lappin's been very good today.
Good disguise that kid.
Yeah, he takes it across half-back. Short, he'll go to Ashcroft. Still deep in his own defensive area. He's got players running for him. Brad Scott was one of them, ignores him. He's got White to the outer side, and that's where the kick goes. Pushed out by O'Brien, no free on the ground. They've got the numbers, the Magpies. This is McKee. Oh, just runs straight into Hart. Still with the Pies. Now Black's got it. And his short kick's very nice to the outer side.
There's a bit of rugby league in that tackle.
Yep, the Brisbane Lions have got it out there through Chris Johnson.
The only thing he didn't do was spear him.
Right on the wing, the outer side of the ground. His drop punt to half forward. Long ball now. Here comes Brown. Couldn't take the mark. On the ground, Headland just missed a target with his handball. Freeborn picks it up, swings it around the body. Chris Scott doesn't want to take clean possession. Instead of that, he gets it to Sean Hart. Sean Hart's left foot kick to half forward. Buckley lurking. Goes with a fist from behind. Bouncing ball. Line will beat Black.
Just doing all the right things, aren't they? Just doing all the right things at the moment, Colin. Just little things.
Yep.
They're right.
I tell you whose game has been brilliant without getting plenty of ball. Jonathan Brown. He's done everything right as well. He's presented and brought the ball to the deck.
Yeah, scared half the side that he's playing against.
5-point lead to the Magpies.
Scared me, and I'm up here.
Hart kicks it to Ackermanis. Can't jump, can't run. Beaten to the ball by Freeborn. Ackermanis can't turn either. He was taken on there by Freeborn. Got it out to Clement. Effectively got 3 injured players at the moment. The Lions. Tarrant in front. Hasn't had a good day in the air, but he's led to the ball. Buckley off hands, roved it beautifully. Right foot kick, gained 40 metres. Close to the boundary line. Rocker and Michael go at it. Michael won. Did really well at ground level. Got support. Bounced up. Got the handball off to Lappin. Lappin can go back to Michael as he comes through the middle.
Good
Little
vision.
left foot kick around the corner was excellent. Applauded by James Brayshaw on the box. It's picked up by White. Took a bounce through the middle of the ground. The build-up is good here for the Lions. Jonathan Brown gloves the ball on the bounce. Thought about the right foot kick. Thought about the handball to Leach. Gave it back to Voss. Voss the standing start. Looks. Headland flew. Nodding there as well. Couldn't mark. Off hands. Boundary throw in forward 50.
Buckley's had 10 this quarter, BT. 10 possessions.
And a
Buckley.
5-point lead to Collingwood. The 20-minute mark of the third quarter.
The ball deep inside the Brisbane forward area, kicking into the slight breeze, although there's really not much here anymore. Almost still at the MCG. The rain has gone away. On the ground, McRae tries to control it. He's taken to ground. No free. Jonathan Brown's game tackled. They need about 4 of them just to hold him.
They can't take him down.
And there's a bounce 40 out from the Brisbane goal. They have been tested here, the Lions. Don't worry about that. Collingwood have been fantastic. White picks it up, clean out of the ruck. High ball, Lynch comes hard at it. Oh, great mark. Alistair Lynch, that's a terrific mark.
He's done a heavy or something, has he? No, he's all right.
He had about 3 to beat, and Wakeland was wearing him like the proverbial cheap suit. And that was a really nice contested mark from Alistair Lynch, but it's going to take a good kick.
Davis off, Davis on. Nick for Leon.
Not happy, Nick Davis.
No.
No body language outwardly to Leon as he came on either.
We'll say one thing about that then. When McKee went up in the ruck stood shoulder to shoulder with Darryl White, the last thing he expected from a bloke about 6'2" in height was that he'd try and grab the ball out of the ruck, and he did, and got it going forward, which Lynch marked.
6 marks, 7 possessions, 2 goals on the game for Alistair Lynch. We are right behind this kick. That's a great kick. That's a terrific kick from Alistair Lynch, right through the centre. And the Lions are back in it. Not that they were ever really out of it, but that's number back 6 for them. They are in front, 6-14-50. Collingwood 7-7-49. So the Lions lead by a point. And it's 22 minutes gone, third term. Triple M scoreboard. Yeah, wrong choice of words, Sam. They're back in front.
Well, I reckon that's a pretty good move by Mick Malthouse to take Nick Davis off. He was playing fairly passive football, in my opinion, about 10 minutes ago when it was down on the Collingwood forward line.
So McKee's dropped back now, Sam.
Yep, and Rocker into the ruck.
You wonder how a guy could get the shits like that in a grand final, don't you?
Well, he, as I say, over on that far side of the ground from us, he didn't go at it too hard, I don't think.
Ball in the middle of the ground. Rocker did the ruck work and the roving work. Kicked it forward. Tarrant! Tarrant is marked directly in front. 45 to 50 metres out. He'll let the ball go.
And Brian, this is where Collingwood have been good. Every set shot and every goal they have been or meant to have kicked, should have kicked, they have. And that's what's actually kept them in it.
23-minute mark of the third quarter. Tarrant to put the Magpies back in front by 5 points. Nearing the end part of this third quarter. Imagine if Collingwood went in front at three-quarter time. Tarrant at the punt road end. He's directly in front. Gets very close to the man on mark. Scott says touch. The umpire says it was touched off hands. It's not a goal. It's touched off hands. The umpire was right there. And there was no argument from the Collingwood player. Minor score. We got a tied ball game at 50 points.
Notice that. Rocker gets the his first attempt in the centre bounce. He clears it straight away. Lee Matthews takes Darryl White straight off and puts Keating straight in there. Nearing this time-on period of the third quarter, he's not going to relinquish a quick takeaway from the centre bounce.
Johnson thumps it in long. Rocker in that marking duel just brought it to ground, and again,
he went over the line.
The Pies will be happy with that. That's a boundary throw-in out of side, about 60 out from their goal. It is all tied away. 7-8-50 Collingwood. The Lions 6-14-50 from the boundary throw-in. Keating gets the fist in there. Loney slaps it forward. Buckley claimed in a tackle from behind. And again, there'll be a ball up. 55 out from the Collingwood goal.
He went over the line, I thought, Chris Johnson there when he kicked in. That's why there was a little murmur of the crowd.
Clark Keating thumps it forward. Headland just couldn't reel it in. Johnson, Voss it was. Got an over-the-top handball that was nice. Big charging tackle on Tarkin Lockyer, but the free kick will go Collingwood's way. This is O'Brien, ducking and weaving. Now he kicks it back, looking for and finding Didak. 80 metres out. He wheels around. Left foot kick to Anthony Rocker. Yeah! Good mark from Rocker. Good kick from Didak.
He's been great, Anthony Rocker. He's hasn't played a startling game, but he's been thereabouts, has presented himself, as you said earlier about Jonathan Brown Dermott, and has kicked 3 goals, and this would be absolutely crucial, Brian.
Indeed. It would be. It would be his 4th goal, and boy, 2 solo performances from the respective full forwards.
Blake got you on camera yawning then, Brian. You wouldn't think you could yawn halfway through the 3rd quarter of the grand final when the scores are level. But he's got it on celluloid.
Had a bit of the Nick Davises about me, didn't I?
10 possessions, 3 marks. Big kick this for Anthony Rocker. Set shot inside the 50. Kick on the way, right through the middle.
Fantastic.
Right through the middle for Anthony Rocker. The Pies are back in front by a goal. 8-8-56. The Lions 6-14-50. And this is one of the better grand finals we've seen in the modern era. An absolute ripper.
Well, you wouldn't believe it. The president of Collingwood is starting. It's going back the other way. He's starting to go white. It's all the blood has drained out of his face. I don't know where it's drained into. I got a feeling I know where.
The 8-day clock.
But he's gone white. Suddenly he thinks, by God, I might have to go down and hold the cup up.
26-minute mark of the 3rd quarter. I bring you the news that Brisbane have only trailed at 3-quarter time 4 times this year. They're 6 points down at the 26-minute mark of the 3rd quarter. In the middle, Rocker brings the ball to the ground. Can it be another clearance for the Pies? O'Brien got a high tackle. No free kick. Brisbane dive on the ball. A lot of numbers. Voss driven in.
No!
Free kick, Michael Voss.
Oh, I just saw Eddie's yelling at bullshit.
Yeah. Well, it was too.
Voss. In the middle of the MCG, sun shining down. Can you believe it? Shocking kick by Voss. Will be gobbled up by Rupert Theris. Centre half back. He bangs it back to Voss. Voss couldn't mark. Johnson didn't attack it. Allowed to pick it up. Didak. He's a long left foot kick from 60 metres out. The goal umpire got sun in his eyes. I thought he's going to fall over and run into the post there.
How'd you be if that had been a goal?
Out of bounds.
Great kick.
On the full in the end. 56-50 in favour of the Pies.
Tim Notting will end up with this ball, although Heath Scotland comes from behind. They've got 2-on-1 now. Scotland picks it up, kicks inside. Good kick. Tarrant's taken the mark. Chris Tarrant has taken the mark on the turnover. And if he kicks straight here, the Pies lead it by 2 goals as we approach 3-quarter time. Chris Tarrant stretching the calf muscles out. 30 out, 35 out on about a 45-degree angle.
And Scotland ran straight on off the bench. That's why he seemed to come from nowhere. You do a quick scout of the field when you see the ball in the air to see who's approaching. Scotland ran straight on off the bench.
So Chris Tarrant to really put a cat among the pigeons. Oh, no. No, that's not his best. That's behind, and he only just snuck it in for that. So 8-9-57 Collingwood. The Lions 6-14-50, 7 points. The margin, 27 minutes and 45 seconds gone.
This would be like a Morris Minor beating the Ferraris in the Grand Prix if it was to happen here today. Unbelievable. Johnson from fullback found his target. Scoreboard, Collingwood 8-9-57.
Like you punching the guts out of Mike Tyson, Brian.
Lions 6-14-50. The 28-minute mark of the 3rd quarter.
I think you're being complimentary. Be like a Morris Minor with different car parts in it.
Hart. Sideways the ball. Here they go through the middle. Ashcroft. Kick was short. Found its intended target. Johnson's got the ball just backward of the centre circle. Goes out wide. Spots up on a man out there, and he did it nicely in Scott. Scott delivers forward to Brown. And Brown is marked deep in the pocket on the practice wicket area. He'll have to kick it 40 metres near the boundary line.
Tell you what, they don't want to leave their run too much longer, the Lions.
Well, look, it's another minute and a half to go. Remember, we said at the end of the 2nd quarter they were 2 goals up.
Yep.
A minute and a half to go. It's exactly a minute and a half to go now. And the Pies lead by 7 points. If this is a goal, of course, they trail by 1, the Lions.
Brilliant sunshine here at the moment at the MCG. Can you believe that? And can you believe the score? Brisbane, Brown to narrow it to just 1 point, nearing 3-quarter time. Jonathan Brown has hammered it. He's got it. Jonathan Brown has got the Lions within a point as we close in on 3-quarter time. 8-9-57 Collingwood. Lions 7-14-50 1976. For years, we've hung out for a close grand final, and I think this could be it.
Yeah, he's getting better as the game goes on here, Jonathan Brown too. And when players stop running, it is the key position players who just have to stand and deliver. He's getting better. Rocker's been solid all the way through. He's in the ruck now and exposing Clark Keating when he can run forward.
They missed the set shot through Tarrant, the Pies, and the Brown goal meant the Lions got theirs. They're very important. Rocker with the clearance. Handball to Heath Scotland. It's going to be chopped out by Sean Hart. Picks it up. Wheels around on the left. Here's Akamanis, who is dead set, not even getting out of his own shadow. Picks it up though. Handball to Voss. Voss running on 50. Right foot flying shot on goal. The superstar. The superstar for the Lions. Bang, bang. Goal, and they've hit the front.
And we have got an absolute superstar in the box here. He said it in the first quarter. Sam, you are a genius.
But I tell you what, wouldn't the Pies just love to have their... what's Smokey doing?
Don't worry.
Wouldn't the Pies love to have time on back? I mean, they've just relinquished the lead twice in the second and third quarters. 4 goals in the last minute and a half.
Gee, that was good footy from Akamanis.
4 goals apiece in this third quarter, and it is a lead of 5 points for the Lions, closing in on three-quarter time. They led by 8 points at half-time. Collingwood by 6 points at quarter time. What a game of football. Umpires still balling it up, throwing it up. In the middle, Keating and Rocker. Keating won it. Straight down to Freeborn. Freeborn bangs it inside 50. Leon Davis and Johnson go at it. No free kick. Ball over the line, out of bounds. Boundary throw in forward pocket for Collingwood.
Now, Brian, this is identical to the second quarter. There's 30 seconds to go.
5-point lead to the Brisbane Lions. Collingwood have got it inside their forward 50, about 25 metres around from their punt road goal. Fraser will do the ruck work. Keating at the back, gloved it down. Leon Davis had a piece of it. Got it off to Fraser. Headland will be happy to see it over the boundary line. He might have kicked it out of bounds on the full. He has. And guess what? He's kicked it out of bounds on the full. Inside the forward 50s, only 30 metres out. 30 metres out here at the moment, the Collingwood player.
He can thread this,
and this is Nathan Buckley.
He could thread this now. He should just say, no, unless you are just a definitive short option, I am going to kick this.
To put Collingwood back in front with seconds remaining in the quarter.
There's 30 seconds. Bronny wants to be very careful if this is a point that they don't sweep it away and just get one on the rebound.
Buckley kicked a miracle goal earlier in the quarter. Bends it too much. Minor score. 4-point lead to the Lions nearing three-quarter time. 30 seconds to go.
Now they must just man up, just take a person, an opponent, and stop this free run up to the other end in the last 20 seconds.
Well, Johnson's got Voss on a long lead. He's going to find him too. Great kick. Voss at half-back has got to move the ball on quickly if they're going to get a score here, the Brisbane Lions. He doesn't. So you think that'll be the half-time score. Three-quarter time score. He's still hanging on to it. Now he goes long, down the line. Fraser with one to beat. No free. Ball on the ground. Picked up by Black. In fact, it was Power. But that is half-time. And that is a stupendously good quarter of footy for the Magpies. Yeah, how am I going? I'm going to get it right in a second. Just bear with me.
That quarter for National Tiles. With their everyday low prices, now you can get a quality finish for less.
For McDonald's.
Triple M rocks footy.
Never miss a single goal with McDelivery. Available via the Uber Eats app.
It was David versus Goliath.
This game makes you proud of the underdog, does it?
Now, relive every massive moment.
What a game of football.
This is the 2002 AFL Grand Final. As for McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
This quarter for Simply Energy.
Simply Energy, powering up the AFL.
Akamanis has been reduced to mediocrity. He's lost his explosiveness.
Brian Taylor to get us started in the final term. It's the Lions by 4 points.
Triple M ranks football. Final quarter for the year for Triple M, for Brisbane and for Collingwood. Clement gathers the ball at half-back. Johnson back to Clement. Good smooth hands. Clement advances it to half-forward. Lepage picked it up beautifully, then dropped it, went without it. Loney stole it off him, hovers over it. Lepage has another go. Collingwood got it through Fraser. Fraser turns around on the right boot, bangs it inside 50. Nick Davis under the ball, hasn't done much all day. It goes to the left foot of Didak. They thought he was going to turn back on the right. Left foot snap at goal, missed everything out of bounds on the full.
I tell you what's working really well for Collingwood. So when the ball came forward there and Lepich ran onto it, it could have almost gone to Rocker. He's getting off Keating.
A couple of bad foot errors there from the Lions. Sees the ball across the line at half forward. Magpies still in attack. Firstly, Scott. And then I think it might have been Lappin kicking the ball into the ground. It was Headland.
You've got to leave Rocker in the ruck here and just push McKee behind play. But Rocker is very dangerous running forward on Clark
Here's
Keating.
Rocker and there's Keating. And Keating double-fisted over the line. He buys his team wide. In fact, it hasn't quite got there. Now it's over the line. And Heath Scotland slung. We'll have a boundary throw in Mike McLean.
Collingwood this year have averaged 44 tackles a game. To three-quarter time, they've laid 60.
Good effort.
62 to 58. It's the Lions, but only by 4 points. This is Lappin, gets the handball off to the Rolls Royce in Michael Voss. He has a bounce, streams forward, long ball, one out, Lynch and Wakeland. Great footy from Wakeland across the line with the fist. And there will be a boundary throw in about a foot around from the behind post with the Brisbane Lions in attack. And they are kicking to the punt road end in the final term.
Tell you what, there is a monster black cloud approaching the G.
It needs to come quickly, Brian.
Boundary throw in forward pocket for the Lions. Lynch doing the ruck work. Soccer by Lynch. Touched it. Was going through for a certain goal by Wakeland. He gets the ball in play. Didn't even concede a point. He's had some cracking games in the finals, Wakeland. He has been brilliant.
Genuine soccer goal. He stopped that. He just smacked it to the ground. And it bounced fortuitously for him, and he just drove it over the line.
Boundary throw in 60 metres around from Brisbane's goal. Collingwood 8-10-58. Trail the Lions 8-14-62. 4-point lead to the Lions. We're in the grand final. We're in the last quarter. We're playing 2.5 minutes, and Collingwood have got a chance of winning this game.
At the stoppages here, half forward flank bounce down. Brisbane's end. Voss and Black are the two stoppage clearance experts.
Keating wins it forward on the ground dangerously. Now Johnson over the ball. Throw, not paid. Black turns around and kicks a goal for the Brisbane Lions.
It's a throw.
It was a throw, no question of that, and it was picked up too by Stephen McBurney. That's good umpiring.
I tell you what, everything is going their way, Collingwood.
No, that was good umpiring, Sam. That was a throw.
No, that's fair on.
And it's Loney now with the ball across half-back. Streaming away, long left foot, pumping ball for Tarrant. Good mark out there on Scott. Tarrant on the outer side has the ball and they're fighting away.
Silly here, Tarrant. Tarrant's the one actually trying to milk 50, and the umpires will wake up to it.
So Chris Tarrant just backward of the wing outer side. They're kicking to the city and the Pies.
Come on, Anthony Rocker.
They trail it by 4 points. Left foot, high ball. Geez, try marking that. It's going to land on someone's head. Back with courage, Lepich. The fist away, beautifully picked up by Notting. Around the body, that kick's looking for, and just getting the line on the wing outer side.
You're trying to torpedo there, Tarrant.
He did, and it wasn't a very good one either. So 4 minutes into the final term, Collingwood 8-10-58. The Lions 8-14-62.
8 more free kicks, Collingwood 21-13.
Lions by 4 points. Southern stand wing. Ball knocked back over the boundary line. We'll have another throw in right in front of where Eddie Maguire, the president of Collingwood, part-time Triple M man as well, sits. And he is, as Sam has updated you out the day.
He's gone pallid, Brian. Pallid.
He has. Sitting there with wife Carla in the southern stand. Boundary throw in. Akamana stolen out of there. He's running on empty. Akamana's kick ball forward. Freeborn couldn't mark it offhand. Sockers it off the ground. Danger, danger, danger. Darryl White's got it. Couldn't get hold of it. Clements somehow stripped him of the ball. Kick downfield to Nick Davis, who got hopelessly under the ball and didn't provide a contest, allowing Ashcroft to mark.
He goes into the centre. Brad Scott in all sorts of room. Streaming forward the Lions. Goes looking for Sean Hart. Will get him on the bounce. Hart's inside the 50. Gets around McKee. Left foot to the top of the square. And pushed out of it very easily in the end. Luke Power, well done, and Freeborn took the free, or the mark. The short kick now finds Didak.
Come on, Buckley!
Didak left foots it down the line. Nathan Buckley in some space, has got it. Turns around, right foot kick, good one too. And he finds Nick Davis.
Come on, Josh Fraser, now do something, man.
Davis, set shot to take the Pies inside the forward 50.
It's got to go to Rocker.
He was looking for Rocker. He didn't provide any move though. The ball dropped short. Rocker! Good mark. Off hands Michael to Black. Black to Johnson. Johnson through the corridor found Lappin. Lappin will take it very wide indeed to Clark Keating. He's got Notting on over the top. Danger here for the Pies. Notting take it out the southern stand wing. Got space. Jonathan Brown's in front of his man. The kick's good. Brown will mark.
He's played well.
Brown is marked. Half forward, long way from home. Kick inside 50. Lynch on the lead. Tried to jump over Freeborn, did really well. Ball to the boundary, over the line, out of bounds. It is Brisbane by 4 points. 6 minute mark, Mike McLean.
Lappin and Buckley, the leading possession winners on the ground, BT, both with 26.
Nick Davis off again. Batheris on. Yeah, but Batheris will be there just to tackle and hold it in.
That brought to the ground to Johnson. Right foot kick was a little awkward. It's a high ball though, and it's going to work for the Pies. McKee stands under it at centre half back. He's got Lacuria breaking forward for him. He can go further afield to Tarrant. Closing on him, Scott. Good mark. A really good mark to Chris Tarrant. He's 80, 90 metres out from goal. Left foot. Long ball looking for Fraser. Lepic out there with him. Scragged off it there, Scott. In fact, it was Johnson. No free. Johnson's going to get it back here. Chain of handballs. Good stuff. Inboard to Headland. Missed the target. And now Didak is gang tackled and banged to the deck by the Lions. But it was good footy from Didak to provide a contest. And now they have a bounce. Wing half forward for the Pies. Kicking to the city end, and they trail it by 4 points.
Keating doing the ruck work. Fraser did it brilliantly. Got it out the back door to Loney. Right boot forward to Rocker. Rocker's marked it. Clark and Lockie wanted it over the top, but Rocker go back and kick the goal. He is well within range. 45 metres out on a 45-degree angle.
He's kicked 4 great goals, Brian, and this will probably be the most important goal he'll ever kick in his life, whether he continues on after this year or not.
This to put Collingwood in front in the final quarter, 8 minutes in, and perhaps take Collingwood to an unlikely premiership. Rocker has kicked 4 outstanding goals. He's 40 metres out on the angle. He's at the city end. He comes in.
That is absolutely sensational.
The front of the 8-minute mark.
Point.
They haven't hit the front. Bloody goal umpire.
We're almost becoming unobjective now.
So,
Get back on track, boys.
59-62. A 3-point lead to the Lions at the 8-minute mark.
Scott goes out wide with
like
a
a South
lovely ball.
Australian.
A lovely ball. Finds Scott in short. He goes to Hart across half back. They're going to need every single bit of their premiership nous, composure and class, the Brisbane Lions,
They're not
if
running.
they're going to win this game against Collingwood. Hart goes wide. Here's Brown, been very good. He has been terrific.
They're not running though, Brisbane. See, it's mark, kick, mark, kick.
There's Brown now inside the 50. Long ball. Clark Keating got a mark. The umpire was buried. The umpire hit the deck. Now we've got a touch ball decision or no, a mark.
Umpire's saying it's touched down the other end. He wants a ball up.
So Stephen McBurney, who hit the deck and had no idea what was going on, looked up and Matthew James told him the ball had been touched. So a ball up inside the forward 50. Voss is unloaded. Black picks it up. Handball out wide. Here's Notting. His kick. High right foot ball. It's not going to come around far enough. It's out of bounds on the full. And some relief back there for the Pies. Clement to take the free kick.
For Brisbane, Tim Notting's the only one who's capable of running through the lines at the moment. Maybe Michael Voss, but he's seized up a bit. But they just have no run.
Lions by 3 points. Lions by 3 points, 9.5 minutes in the last quarter. Johnson
Come on, Josh.
through the middle of it. Josh Fraser needs to mark.
It's bloody awful.
Couldn't. Soft hands it was. Batheris, though, there to help him out. Got the handball to Scotland. Over the top to Lucuria. Is going to run into a brick wall. Got the handball off quickly to Presti Giacomo. Little left foot kick under enormous pressure. Out in front, Tarrant has led up strongly. Got the handball off to Lucuria. Back to Scotland. Scotland
kick it!
He'll be run down by Voss. Got the handball back to Scotland. On the left boot. Scotland. Rocker.
I'll tell you right now, Collingwood are going to win this.
No, they're not.
Fitzroy,
you idiot.
The Brisbane Lions have stopped to a walk. They have Feedingham stopped to a walk.
Travel.
When is the last time you saw a Brisbane player run past and receive a handball?
Fraser for his third goal and to put Collingwood in front. The 10-minute mark. Fraser comes in. 3 metres out. It's a bloody goal. Collingwood are in front of the 10.5
telling you, Eddie's got his head bowed. He never shouted, never cheered. He's got his head down. He's got his chin on his chest.
Oh, God love him. In 11 minutes of football, in this quarter, Brisbane have had seven handball receives. They have stopped running the Lions.
And it's raining. It's
Razor with his third, and my hand is dead set shaking as I'm writing the goals down. The Pies are about to make history, perhaps. The Lions are working hard, but it's the Pies with the footy. Here's Buckley running away. Right foot, long ball. Tarrant one out. Tarrant. He was all over him, and they concede the Lions through Scott. In fact, it was Johnson, a behind, and the Pies lead extends by a point, 9-12, 66. The Lions 8-14, 62, 4 points the margin. And it really is starting to tighten up now for the Brisbane Lions, the reigning premiers. Kick to the outer side. Mark taken out there by Notting.
Mark kick. There's no run.
He goes in short now to Brad Scott.
No run again.
Centre half back for Scott.
Look at it. It is a static game Brisbane are playing. You cannot run out the last 10, 12 minutes.
Scott goes to his shoulder, almost chopped out. Now they're a chance to do something here, the Lions. Scott goes looking for Mal Michael. Great kick and a good mark.
And he'll turn around and give stand and deliver. Mark kick.
So Michael about 70, 80 out from goal. In short to Darryl White. White in the centre of the ground. They trail by 4 points, the Pies.
Lynch has won
White,
out.
long ball now. Voss just stripped of any chance of marking that. Thumped to the ground is Lappin. Handball over the top looking for Hart. Couldn't find that player. Eventually it comes to Voss. Voss from the standing start. High ball to the top of the square. Brown going back with it. The thump away was very nice. Free kick. Free kick is going to Brisbane.
Is it Brown or Keating?
Keating, I think.
Or it might even be Lynch.
Could be right.
Oh, we'll need to have a look at this.
I think it's Lynch. Yep.
Oh, he's been tackled. Yeah, he's been tackled and the ball's not even there. Well, he's been doing it Wakeland and getting away with it.
He has been.
Which is good play.
So Lynch, set shot to give Brisbane the lead back.
It's a tough shot. He's 15 metres out.
Yeah.
But the ball's greasy, it's wet.
He should kick it, Dermot.
He should. He's a full forward with over 70 for the year.
You said they're a brilliant side in the wet.
He should kick it.
Well, he'll kick it.
This to put the Lions back to a 2-point lead. Alistair Lynch, 15 metres out, kick on the way, right through the middle. They're back in front, the Lions. 9-14, 68. Collingwood, 9-12, 66. But it's not over, not by a long stretch. 13 and a half minutes gone, final term. Triple M scoreboard.
This is just a matter of Brisbane can hang on. Collingwood, you see them win the ball out of the centre. They're running through the lines. And their no-name players are finishing with run. They've crunched it out for the first 3 quarters and played ugly, shocking football, but that's what they had to do. They had to beat him with 1 quarter of football, and now they're finished with running. Brisbane to just mark, kick, static footy.
And you couldn't argue with that free kick to Lynch.
Watching Eddie in the stands over there, Laurie Serafini, director of the Lions, went up. No one else did, and Eddie gave him the filthiest look. Burns out wide to the kick. Over the head of Scotland, off hands, Michael gathers. Half-back flank on the southern stand side. We've played 14 and a half minutes. It's the Lions by 2 points in the 2002 Grand Final. Voss got a little chip kick to the boundary line. It goes over the line now to Barons. We'll have a boundary throw in.
Tim Notting's been good value for the Lions in this last quarter. He's been a link man out on the other side and on that great southern stand wing. 5 possessions for him.
Brisbane looking for back-to-back premierships. Collingwood looking for an unlikely one, but they've got a big chance at the 15-minute mark of the last quarter. They trail by 2 points. Buckley, handball out the side, door to Johnson. Ackermanis was incredibly desperate. Off hands, Lockyer gathers, goes for the boundary line with a little underground kick and finds it. Over line out of bounds. Lions by 2 points, 15-minute mark.
I tell you, the Lions are leading it, but you just get the feeling that Collingwood have got the momentum at the moment. They're playing the footy that looks better. I don't know why they trail it by 2 points.
Because they're moving it quickly with run, James.
Boundary throw in. McKee interfered with, no free for that player. Collingwood desperate, head over the ball. Comes to the back and Buckley. Around the body he goes. Tumbling ball now, the Lions need to win it. Ashcroft was fantastic. Head over it, but he can't control it. And he's coughed it up. Notting slaps it out wide. White dispossessed, free kick.
Silly. He had his head over the ball. for about 3 or 4 seconds, and the player ran into him, Batheris, and kneed him in the top of the head.
Darryl White will thump it long in the Brown direction, you would imagine. Jonathan Brown has been absolutely fantastic in this game. Ball to the front, dispossessed Freeborn, picked up by Buckley, bouncing footy, good to Tarrant. He swings it around, it's high, it's not travelled the distance, not even close. They slap it forward, the Pies. Heath Scotland, handball over the top to Loney. Loney claimed in the tackle, got it to Burns. Burns to Licuria, all on his own, taking the mark. 45 out directly in front, Paul Licuria.
But see how they get it there, James? The wave of running going with them, and Licuria running down the corridor. Brisbane do not have one runner besides Notting. And this is a tough kick for him, into the wind.
But you said this is one of the 2 people that would get a game for the Lions.
Yep.
So he'll kick it, Dermot.
Paul Licuria to put the Pies back in front if he can kick truly. Set shot. Outside the 50, left foot drop punt, he's missed it. In fact, he hasn't even made the distance. It's thumped away on the line for a boundary throw-in. And the score remains the same. Collingwood 9-12-66. The Lions 9-14-68.
Buckley with 30 possessions now. Jonathan Brown 14 and 6 marks.
17-minute mark. Lions by 2 points. Collingwood have got it in their forward 50 deep. Boundary throw in Fraser and Keating. Keating thumps it back to the boundary line, and we'll have another one.
He wants to be careful. You told me he doesn't thump it out on the full.
Yeah, it's a free kick.
I know, I just say he wants to be careful. Keating, who's completely dominated the ruck.
That went within about a metre, I reckon.
Yep.
Another boundary throw, and Keating caught behind again. Fraser knocks it down in front. Bit of aerial ping-pong, and it goes back over the line again. We'll do it again. This is all happening in Collingwood's forward 50.
A bit of Buckley magic.
Rail by 2 points. They do indeed, Sam. Lights are on at the MCG. Rain has stopped momentarily. It's been a classic contest. Not more than 8 points in it at any of the major breaks. Keating over the top, knocked the ball down. Collingwood forward line. They scrap for it at ground level. Turned into a scrum. And we'll have another ball up. 18 minutes in this final quarter. Brisbane by 2 points.
Has Leon Davis, I'm being serious here, Mike, Leon Davis got is he on the stat sheet?
Has not touched it, does
I'll tell you what, wouldn't it be good if he could just turn some electricity on and kick one?
Black took clean possession, got the handball over the top. There is Leon Davis with his first possession.
Oh, no, he's been pushed out of bounds.
So he didn't end up
almost on cue.
Disposing of the football, but it's about 70, 80 metres out now from the Collingwood goal. My guts is dead set churning. 2 points the lead to the Brisbane Lions. It has been a fantastic game of footy. Michael Voss picks it up, swings around, the high ball down the line. Jonathan Brown comes to meet it. Thump from behind, ball on the ground. It's now at half forward for the Lions. Free kick, no. Play on Ackermanis dispossessed. Working hard, sorry, another free kick in there to Buckley, none. On the ground, still the ball. Tarkin Lockyer extricates it, kicks it back.
They can't let
but
them
only as
get
far
a
as
goal.
Lappin inboard to Ashcroft. Ashcroft just backward of the centre circle. Didak came at him. Stagnant, as Dermot Brereton's mentioned, the Lions.
Come across.
Mal Michael in some space. They open up the fat side of the ground, Sam. Michael gets around Rocker very easily. Now he slips it over the top to White. White can go by hand to Ashcroft, hangs onto it. Looking for a target inside the 50. Here's Ackermanis, got him. Centre half forward, too far out to score, you would imagine.
Yep, and he'll try and step him. If he gets width on the mark here, he'll try and balk him.
Left foot.
High ball with the left foot. Long Lynch goes under it. Slipped over Alistair Lynch. It's a behind. Rushed behind for the Lions. They lead by 3 points now. It's 9-15-69. Collingwood 9-12-66.
Question to Dermot and Sam. At this stage of the game, I'd like you to pick a Norm Smith medalist each. We don't know the result, so
Buckley.
It's a tough one. Take a minute to think about it. You want Buckley?
Buckley or Brown? I'll deliberate on that within the next minute.
Blood rule. We've got a bit of time to talk about it. Freeborn off. Let's set the score up. Collingwood 9-12-66. Trail the Lions 9-15-69. Norm Smith medal, Sam.
I would say Buckley too.
Okay, so Buckley and Jonathan Brown. As Freeborn comes off, Doc Larkin spotted the age.
Yeah, taking time. He's been told by McBurney to move it along. Scotland will replace him, but can't see much blood from where I am at the moment, so it's obviously something very minor. He's come off with a bit of bleeding from the nose again. We saw that in the first quarter, so he'll be back. That's Freeborn from Collingwood.
I tell you what, this game makes you proud of the underdog, does it? They have been extraordinary, Collingwood.
20-minute mark. 3-point lead of the Lions. Collingwood kick it in from fullback. Lockyer kicks it to himself, plays on, goes out to a 1-on-3. McKee did well though to bring the ball to the ground. In they go. Scotland missed it. Over the top of the ball, Voss is in there. Tarrant's there, Licuria there, they're all there. Burns got the handball out the side, steps around his man. He'll drive the ball long.
Come on, Anthony!
Rocker's got the set! Couldn't mark off hands. What can they do? Collingwood have got numbers around the ball. Time's running out. We've played 21 minutes. Collingwood trail by 6 points. We've only had 2 goals kicked in the quarter, which means it'll only run 26 or 27.
That's 5 minutes, and there's time enough for 3 more goals, whichever way to be kicked.
Keating to the back and Buckley. The fresh air shot got it to Mal Michael, who's been very good. He slaps it forward. This is Black with the footy at halfback for the Lions. Long searching ball. Brown picks it up. In fact, in the end, it was Power, and he goes inboard and finds Voss.
There's going to be a hero made here today, because that's what it's going to take for someone to kick a goal.
We might find a kicker at goal
Voss
after the
dumps
siren.
it long, looking for Lynch, thumped away. Well done, Wakeland. Got it to the line.
There is going to be a hero here.
You know what? It'll end up being every childhood dream, schoolboy's dream. Someone will kick for the grand final here today.
Boundary
after
throw
the
in.
siren.
70 out from the Brisbane goal. They lead by 3 points. Clark Keating. On the ground, Buckley and Ackermanis, 2 champions, and Black's in there as well, as is Voss. Put a blanket over them and you've probably got a couple of $1 million in wages and some of the silkier skills in the competition, but we'll have a bounce. 75, 80 metres out. Brisbane lead at 9:15 to Collingwood 9:12. 3 points. McKee kicks it straight into his opponent. On the ground, the footy still. Clark Keating is working extremely hard. Heath Scotland tries to get it out of there. No player really wants to possess the footy.
Eddie's still in his seat, hasn't moved.
Got to say, Tim Notting's inside forward 50 for Brisbane forward of it. He's the only one that's running through the lines at the moment. He's got to play behind the ball at least, or on the wing.
91,817 people here today. Ball on the attacking 50 area for Brisbane. Free kick will go Brisbane's way. Lappin's got it. He's 70 metres from home, perhaps 80.
I think he's had 27 possessions or so, I think,
Lappin.
28
Kick
now.
inside 50. Here they go.
Lynch.
Mark Lynch couldn't hold it. Offhand. Gee, that was lucky. Johnson, little kick around the body. Almost stuck it down the throat of Notting. Didn't do so, though. Burns knocks it down. Notting picks it back. Long handball out wide to Jonathan Brown. Got clobbered by Presti. They'll take it away, the Pies. No, they won't.
Please.
Yes, they will. Buckley, probably the Norm Smith medalist, taps the ball on. Over the top. Picked up by Brad Scott to win the game. The Lions are 10 minutes from goal. Lynch almost marked it. Ackermanis, left foot snap. Ackermanis has kicked it. I think he's kicked it. He has. Ackermanis has kicked the goal. 66-75 in favour of the Lions. 23-minute mark. Have Collingwood's hopes gone?
No, they haven't. No, they are the better running team at the moment. Freeborn comes back onto the ground. They've won some ball out of the centre in the ruck outs when Rocker's been the ruck. They should get him in there, push McKee back behind play. If they lose the bounce down here, McKee's got to mop up behind, but Rocker's going in there now. He's been fantastic.
Handball receives Dern last quarter. Collingwood 20, Brisbane 8.
Yeah, they are running them much
Keating's
better.
got 40 hit-outs and they've swapped the 2 Davises. They've got nothing out of either of them.
9 points the margin. Buckley with the clearance, but it's all the Brisbane Lions this side of the ground. Picked up by Ashcroft. Handball back good to Johnson. Chris Johnson. Short kick to Lepich. They lead it by 9 points, the Lions. If they kick another one, if they kick another goal, it's all over. Ashcroft's got it in front of the interchange.
Well, if they run it down now, they could expect that they'll win by less than 1 game.
How much time left?
Channel 10 aren't showing it.
Right.
So we don't know.
Back in board to Chris Johnson.
They've got to force Collingwood to go man on man. They can't play off them. They should chip it around.
What we do know is there's only been 3 goals kicked in the quarter, and it's 25 minutes in, so it's only going to go 28.
They stop showing the time when there's 5 minutes to go,
Chris
right?
Johnson, a long kick now, edged under it. Keating. McKee stood up. Should have taken the mark, should have been paid the mark. Voss has got it. Thumps it forward. 1 out. Lynch. Just manhandled Wakeland.
That's a free kick to him.
He pushed him off in the net.
Free kick, So Wakeland.
Tell you what, Wakeland's put a reasonable tackle on him. He's just trying to break it.
Sideways with the kick to Lacuria in some space. He can go forward to Burns. Burns in front of Voss. He goes in search of Tarrant, a high ball. Look at Scott come at this. Almost took the mark, Scott. That was Chris. Ball on the ground now. Half forward for the Pies. But they've got it out of there. Voss has got it.
He's lifted.
In short to Ackermanis, who's lifted. Ackermanis out of side on the wing, takes the sliding.
Notting's the runner.
Notting goes forward. The kick's a shocker. The kick's an absolute shocker. Ridden
Come
into the
on!
deep. Johnson picked up by O'Brien. He goes to ground. Handball on the up to Tarkin Lockyer. Standing start kick. Voss in best position, and he is a magnificent footballer.
He's had 8 possessions in the last quarter, Voss.
And I reckon 6 of them have come in the last 3 or 4 minutes.
Michael Voss has single-handedly dragged his team back into this contest. 9-12-66 Collingwood. Lions 10-15-75. They lead by 9 points. We've played 26 and a bit minutes. Final term. And Voss on the outer side has got the ball and will pump the Lions back into their forward half.
26 and a half minutes, final quarter. Lions by 9 points. Collingwood have got about 3 to 4 minutes. They were in a position to win this grand final. They were in front at one stage in this quarter. Kick goes forward to the Brisbane Lions half-forward line, but Theris has got it. Kick out of trouble. It goes the advantage to Collingwood. Fast hands, Burns. Got it off the Clement. Clement to Loney. Loney will gather the ball. He'll drive it inside 50. Last chance.
Come on, Josh.
Fraser one out with Leppich. Couldn't mark it. Punch to the boundary line. Boundary throw in forward pocket. 26-minute mark. 9-point lead to the Lions.
Well, Josh Fraser 6'7", Justin Leppich 6'2".
He's been good, Leppich.
Oh, he's been fantastic, and just doesn't have the body strength to push off and mark the ball at its highest
Boundary
point.
throw in right in the attacking half of the Pies, stumped away by Mal Michael. Beautifully done by Scott. The premiership experience just starting to come to the fore for the Lions, no question.
They've won this last quarter with the most basic, and I mean really basic style of football imaginable. No run, just win the ball at the stoppages and kick it straight down the line.
And one of the reasons they're winning the ball at the stoppages, Dermot, is because Keating, as Sam said, has been magnificent.
Yep.
This time McKee has a fresh air shot picked up by Batheris inside the 50. Davis. Oh, Mal Michael went back with courage. Nick Davis picks it up again. Now Scott's got it. Kicks it into open space. Lucuria and Sean Hart. It's a foot race. Lucuria needs to be clean. He sweats on him and he's going to cough it up. As he know, he did it well, Paul Lucuria. Still hasn't possessed the ball. Now Hart gets into his back. On the ground, Freeborn picks it up. Ashcroft comes at him. Footy still in dispute. Now it comes to the back. And Power picks it up and kicks it towards the line. Bouncing over at half forward. Brisbane controlling it. 28-17 gone. And they are going to win, you sense, the Brisbane Lions.
Got to watch Voss and Black at this stoppage again. Buckley's been excellent also in Collingwood's favour.
Fans listening to Triple M up in Brisbane. Your mob at the moment are looking pretty good. There's Black. Slung in the tackle. Lappin couldn't control it. Buckley, who's been titanic, just can't pick it up. He's dispossessed. Now Power comes back into it. That was a throw. Voss, handball forward. Headland got it now. And now he can't control it. He's tripped up. Goes in search of Brad Scott. He can't control it. Barge takeover.
Freeborn's got it at half-back for Collingwood. They trail by 9 points. 29 minutes have ticked over. It'll be back-to-back for the Lions.
He'll go short.
Neither of the coaches have been able to leave the coaching box. They're still issuing instructions. I'm looking at Matthews now. He's still there. They're 9 points up the Lions. 29-minute mark. Last quarter. You think it'll be back-to-back. Martin Pike will have 3 premiership medallions. Ashcroft running the clock down. Kicks it backward to Hart. 91,800 here today. Collingwood were in front. The 10-minute mark of this final quarter. And then comes Brisbane's run of goals, Lynch and Ackermanis. And Brisbane are in front by 9 points at the moment. 30 minutes into the final quarter. It's going to be back-to-back for the Brisbane Lions. Eddie Maguire in the stands. What do you see, Sam?
The Prez has resigned to he hasn't resigned, but he has resigned to the fact that they've gone very close and had a fantastic year, but they're not going to win.
McKee to Burns, knocks it down. Lawrence and Johnson steals it out of the pack. Left foot kick to Nick Davis. Now Nick Davis will kick it forward. Fraser, siren sounded. Brisbane have won back-to-back premierships. Collingwood had a chance, but Brisbane have won back-to-back premierships. 2001, 2002. Gubby Allen's happy. Neil Barnes not. Opposing footy directors. Matthews still in the box. Brisbane have won back-to-back premierships. They are an unbelievable team. But I tell you what, Collingwood had a red-hot crack today.
That quarter for Simply Energy.
Simply Energy, powering up the AFL.
For McDonald's.
Triple M rocks footy.
Never miss a single goal with McDelivery. Available via the Uber Eats app.
Invoices.
Hooray.
But sent instantly.
Hooray.
Keeping track of payments.
What?
But managing them online instead.
What?
With Xero, it's business but better. Start your free 30-day trial at xero.com.
Whether you're travelling for work or play, just say let's go with Hertz. Let's go somewhere new. Let's go together and create new memories. Let's go with confidence, with ease, and with all the details taken care of. Let's go experience something special. Choose from a wide range, including prestige and electric vehicles to SUVs and more. Available from over 220 locations around Australia. Find your next car rental at hertz.com.au today.
Let's go.